Douluo, update the terms, start with incredible luck. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26 Xiandao Class 1, New Student Lin Feng. This guy seems to be more powerful than Dugu Yan. I thought so. No wonder he looked down on Yu Xianheng and waited for this guy. So that's it. Hey, this Yu Xianheng is not dead, lying on the ground motionless. The discussion of the crowd began to sound after a short silence. At this time, a healing spirit master who often followed Yu Xianheng hurried forward to treat Yu Xianheng with a worried look on his face. After a while, ahem, where is that guy Lin Feng? Yu Xianheng just woke up and began to angrily ask the younger brother around him. Boss, he's gone, the younger brother said with a trembling voice and some fear. Boss, don't be angry, although we didn't win just now, you also beat them up. It's only today that I realized that you are so good at talking to people. Facing the boss's anger, the younger brother scratched his head, smiled on his face, and gave a thumbs up. For a moment, he couldn't think of a way to comfort the boss. These words were the best he thought of on a whim. Yu Xianheng was so angry at his words that his face turned blue, and his lips were pursed into a straight line. One hand clenched into a fist and hit him hard on the face. If you can't talk, don't talk. If you really can't, donate your mouth. Yu Xianheng then stood up tremblingly. He walked out of the back mountain with a swaying body. Seeing this, the younger brother hurried forward to support him. Isn't this Yu Xianheng going to cause trouble for that person? You didn't see it just now. How could he go? He can't beat that guy called Lin Feng. What's the use of being able to fight? You need power and background to get involved. Which gang is this Lin Feng from? Young Master Yu is a direct descendant of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Do you understand the value of the upper three sects? The crowd behind them looked at the backs of the two people and began to talk about it in hindsight. At this time, some people praised, some refuted, and some even asked soul-like questions. Does Yu Xianheng really call his parents when he loses a fight? Everyone recalled how arrogant Yu Xianheng was before he didn't know about Lin Feng's soul power, and they all answered in unison. Yes, as the saying goes, a gentleman should be generous. Look at the way he spoke just now. He doesn't look like a person who cares about face at all. Who knows, he's planning to go home and call people now. Everyone agreed with the evaluation of several people, and said that they would not easily provoke him in the future. On the other side, Lin Feng and his friends were walking on the road. Lin Feng, you were so handsome just now. I'm telling you, I've been annoyed with Yu Xianheng for a long time. He's so arrogant all day long. Even if you don't beat him up, I will beat him up. Shimo was excited, happier than when he beat Yu Xianheng himself. Dugu Yan on the side was even more excited and hugged Lin Feng. After all, the handsome look of this man just now is standing up for himself. It's right to reward him. Dugu Yan put her lips close to Lin Feng's ear, bit it lightly, and then said something XX. Remember it tonight. Dugu Yan loosened her arms around Lin Feng and pursed her lips shyly. Lin Feng smiled and looked at Yi Lingling behind Dugu Yan. Their eyes just met. I really envy you, Lin Feng. I can go to get out of class with Dugu Yan in the future, unlike me. I have to stay in Xiansheng with Shimo and Shimo for half a year or a year. Yi Lingling's eyes revealed a hint of displeasure, but she still tried to keep her voice gentle. Hey, Lingling, your soul power is already level 28, and I'm only level 25. It's estimated that it will take you only a few months to reach the Xiandao level. At my training speed, it will take at least 2 years. Soon, the three of you will be at the Xiandao level together. Shimo didn't seem to notice whether Yi Lingling was jealous or really complaining, and comforted her seriously. Yes, Lingling, what she said is right. Soon we will be in the same class. Lin Feng smiled, instinctively looked at Shimo, winked at him, and signaled him to say a few words quickly. Seeing this, Shimo was just secretly happy, and didn't want to care about the life and death of his good brother. For a brother, you can stick your neck out, but let him solve the problem of his brother's woman by himself. Shimo patted his chest and silently made a "I'm rooting for you" gesture to Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked helpless. The fact that Yi Lingling's cultivation speed was faster than Shimo was because Lin Feng had refreshed Yi Lingling's innate soul power to level 9 before. As for the two brothers of the Shi family, Lin Feng had never refreshed the purple soul power entries for them. It's not that the two have not triggered the entry upgrade until now, but Lin Feng chose to keep it for them. Because the things on those entries are not something that can be explained by fairy grass or elixir. He didn't want to expose his ability. Before going to the classroom, several people helped Lin Feng to tidy up the dormitory. The management of Xiandao College is relatively loose compared to the junior college. Male and female students are allowed to visit each other's dormitories, and the configuration of single rooms is the same as that of the Junior Soul Master College. At this time, the class bell rang. Oh no, class is about to start. Shimo waved his hand, signaling Lin Feng and others behind him to hurry up. Soon, Lin Feng and Dugu Yan said goodbye to the three people in front of the teaching building. After the two brothers of the Shi family left first, Yilingling turned around again and ran to Lin Feng and kissed him reluctantly, and then he was willing to run away. The sudden kiss made Lin Feng stunned in place, staring at Yilingling's back with his eyes straight, a little dazed. I haven't seen you for 2 months, and it feels more delicious. Lin Feng pursed his lips gently, savoring the taste of the girl on the affectionate wet kiss, with a look of enjoyment on his face. Oh. Lin Feng, stop looking. I'll let you touch me again in class later, okay? Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng's infatuated expression, and helplessly pulled his hand and ran towards the classroom. This Lin Feng, a kiss made him look so bad, so useless. As soon as the two arrived at the door of the classroom, they ran into the teacher who came to the class. Hello, Teacher Qin. Dugu Yan quickly let go of Lin Feng's hand, and greeted the teacher with a slightly nervous smile. Qin Ming. Lin Feng was surprised. He didn't expect that his teacher was Qin Ming, who came to his college to recruit students before. What a fate. Qin Ming first responded to Dugu Yan with a smile and politely, and then looked at Lin Feng. Student Lin Feng, you are finally here. I thought you didn't plan to come to our college because you didn't come these days. He looked kind, and his eyes seemed to be filled with honey when he looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng is the most talented student he has met this year. After learning about his relationship with Dugu Yan, he was actually not worried at all about Lin Feng not coming these days. After all, his first wife is already here, where else can Lin Feng go? How about this, Dugu Yan, you go back first, I'll go on stage and talk to everyone. Dugu Yan hurriedly lowered her head and walked into the classroom with a red face. Qin Ming looked like he understood everything, so the two of you should stop pretending to be reserved. Thank you Arui for your monthly ticket again. Thank you Book Friend 2042 for your monthly ticket. Thank you Book Friend 856,696 for your reward. I wish you all a happy Chinese New Year. Keep reading, it's very important. Chapter 27 The Eldest Prince, Zhu King. Lin Feng, who had recovered from his surprise outside the door, looked through the window at the classroom. The room was spacious and bright, and the decoration style was simple, elegant and noble. The desks and chairs were made of high-quality red sandalwood. Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh again. The aristocratic academy is rich. Qin Ming walked with a wind, and the smile on his face never faded until he reached the podium. Classmates, today I will introduce a new classmate to you, Lin Feng. Come in. Qin Ming turned and looked outside. Lin Feng walked slowly to the front of the stage and casually glanced at the people below. Most of the people had green entries. Except for Dugu Yan, only one person was found to have purple and 8th level soul power. Is he Lin Feng, the Lin Feng who just beat up Yu Xianheng? Yes, that's him. I recognize his face. Yu Xianheng was beaten? What happened? I heard that this Lin Feng was a soul master at the age of 12, so what? Who here isn't a soul master? What matters here is strength and background. When Lin Feng's face was seen clearly by the audience, there was a burst of discussion. Hello, everyone. I'm Lin Feng. I'm glad to be your new classmate. Lin Feng briefly introduced himself and looked at Qin Ming again. Qin Ming, gender, male, age 27, innate soul power 9, martial soul, fiery wolf, top level, soul power, level 51, entries, blessed by heaven, green, outstanding talent, purple. After more than 2 months of not seeing each other, Qin Ming's soul power has actually reached the level of a level 51 soul king. This cultivation speed is not much slower. Heaven's blessing, you will follow the Son of Heaven, receive the Son of Heaven's blessing, and gain a boost in luck. Well, for the main characters, that makes sense. This entry should be a popular entry, and all the main characters will have it. Lin Feng thought so in his heart. Qin Ming looked at the seats below the stage, wondering where to arrange Lin Feng to sit. Teacher, let Lin Feng sit here. At this time, Dugu Yan couldn't wait to raise his hand and said. Qin Ming knew the relationship between the two of them, so he nodded and indicated that it was okay. Lin Feng walked leisurely to Dugu Yan's side, and one hand naturally rested on Dugu Yan's thigh in leather pants. Many people gnashed their teeth and looked at Lin Feng with jealous eyes. Okay, classmates, today we will talk about how to deal with flying soul masters. After a small episode, Qin Ming began to talk non-stop on the stage. Off stage. Hey, Lin Feng, don't move your hands. Wait until tonight. Dugu Yan felt her fingers brushing against her leather pants, and couldn't help but grab Lin Feng's hand, saying in a gentle voice that made people numb. Lin Feng stopped teasing her, held her hand, and looked at a blackboard. In the classroom, Qin Ming's clear lecture sounded outside the window. Downstairs, in Xianzi class 2. Yu Xianheng sat in the first row of the class with a swollen nose and face. Student Lingling, come and help Yu Xianheng with his treatment. It looks scary, and it's obvious that the treatment is not thorough. The teacher saw his miserable condition as soon as she walked into the class, and asked Yu Lingling. I won't treat it, whoever wants to treat it can do it, Yu Lingling pouted, expressing her dissatisfaction strongly. First, she was dissatisfied with Yu Xianheng's overestimation of his abilities, and second, Lin Feng hadn't been as close to her as Dugu Yan for a long time. The teacher on the stage also looked puzzled. When did these two people have a conflict? At this time, many students in the audience knew the reason, and they all tried to hold back their laughter and watched Yu Xianheng make a fool of himself. No, teacher, this Yu Lingling is just afraid that after I recover, I will surpass Lin Feng from the Xiandao class. This kind of trick will only slow down my cultivation speed because of a minor injury. Only people like them who are not presentable will use it, eh? Yu Xianheng, the legitimate son of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, disdained to use it. Yu Xianheng snorted, turned his head to look at Yu Lingling and everyone behind him, covered his mouth, and resisted the pain and retorted. His sudden voice shocked the classmates and teachers in the class. Is this the same taciturn Yu Xianheng? Hasn't he always been aloof? Didn't you see that Yu Xianheng was even more talkative at the back mountain this afternoon? He's the best debater in the Douluo world. That's right, he directly angered the guy named Lin Feng upstairs, so he got beaten up. Some dandy boys in the back row who were surprised by Yu Xianheng's change said playfully. I think Yu Xianheng is still quite manly. He's my type anyway. Yes, unlike some people who can only use some unpresentable tricks, as expected of our Xianheng. What's so good about that Dugu Yan? Some female classmates who had been fascinated by Yu Xianheng before defended him. Yu Lingling was immediately furious after hearing what Yu Xianheng said. Those crazy fans who were talking about it below added fuel to her anger. Who is afraid of you? You want to surpass Lin Feng? Dream on. As she said that, she walked out of her seat and went forward to give Yu Xianheng a thorough treatment with her soul power. A faint silver light appeared on Yu Xianheng's body, and then disappeared. Okay, now you have recovered, let me see how you can catch up with Lin Feng. Yu Lingling was obviously impatient. After the treatment, she turned around and left aggressively. Tisk. Yu Xianheng not only did not thank Yu Lingling for the treatment, but also looked disdainful. This Yu Lingling is really stupid. Just provoked her and she took the initiative to treat him? Little did she know that everything was done on purpose. I was too naive before, and I pretended to be so just for a little face. If I encountered such an injury, I would only silently endure the pain and go to the teacher for treatment after class. But now, look at how fast my injury heals. Haha. As a person, you can't care too much about face. Yu Xianheng raised the corners of his mouth and agreed deeply in his heart. After about an hour. Ding ling ling, the get out of class bell rang. Lin Feng, follow me. Dugu Yan excitedly pulled Lin Feng and was about to go outside. Where are we going? Lin Feng, whose hands were tired after a whole class, asked a little tiredly. Of course we're going to the training room. We are both members of the reserve team. Teacher Qin Ming told me before you came, the reserve team doesn't have to attend the second class in the afternoon. We can just go to training directly. After explaining, Dugu Yan pulled Lin Feng and walked towards the training room. Xiandao reserve team, training room. Dugu Yan, you're here. The leader of the four people saw Dugu Yan coming and greeted him first. Hello, senior. Dugu Yan on the side greeted him with a playful face. Oh, I forgot to introduce, Lin Feng, this is our senior, Zuking. Dugu Yan turned around and introduced Lin Feng with a smile. Zhu King? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Copying Entries, Innate Level 20, New Year Extra Update. Lin Feng was shocked. In his memory, Zhu King was killed by Jin Ringsu when he was 9 years old and replaced by him. The person in front of him was not the real Xiandao eldest prince at all, but Bibi Dong's daughter Jin Ringsu. Lin Feng was shocked but soon regained his composure. In any case, he could not expose her identity now. After all, there would be more than 10 years before the war between their Wuhan Hall and the Xiandao Empire. System, Entry Exploration, Zhu King, Jin Ringsu, Gender, Female, Age. 14, Innate Soul Power. 20, Martial Soul, Swan, Zhu King Martial Soul, 6-Winged Angel, Top Level, Soul Power, Level 33, Level 47, Entries, Innate Level 20, Gold, Angel God, Gold, Destiny Villain, Purple, Divine Soul Power, Purple, 6-Winged Angel, Purple, Resourceful, Green, Alluring Beauty, White. Lin Feng looked at the dense panel entries of Zhu King, his face filled with uncontrollable excitement. 2 gold, 3 purple, 1 green, and 1 white? Too gorgeous. At this time, Lin Feng clenched his hands, and the corners of his mouth rose unconsciously. Wouldn't it be useful to copy his own entries? But the copy of the entry can only copy one. Lin Feng clicked on the entries again and looked at them one by one. Most of the entries can be understood by looking at the name, and there are 3 special ones. Angel God, Gold, you will inherit the Angel God's residence and become an Angel God before the age of 40. Fate Villain, Purple, your origin, talent, and ability are extremely excellent, but you will be abandoned by fate and become an enemy of the Son of Fate. Sacred Soul Power, Purple, the soul power in your body is a special angel soul power, which is pure sacred energy with purification and ablation effects. For other people, becoming a god before the age of 40 is against the will of heaven. But this is useless for me. The Fate Villain will also have side effects, and being abandoned by fate is too rubbish. There is no other entry to choose. In the end, Lin Feng still chose to copy the Innate Level 20, Innate Level 20, Gold, your innate soul power is Level 20, but which one of my own entries should be replaced? Lin Feng frowned and was in a dilemma. He had changed the entry that had been making him think of before to Seeking Dragons and Dividing Gold during the holidays. Seeking Dragons and Dividing Gold, Purple, you get a dragon-seeking ruler, which can easily find treasures and treasures. Some time ago, it was because he found a treasure land for cultivation in a dense forest that delayed the start of school for a few days. This Seeking Dragons and Dividing Gold entry is quite useful. After that period of cultivation, his soul power has improved by leaps and bounds. Hey, how could I forget the entry from my outstanding talent? I must change that one, Lin Feng said to himself as if he had just woken up from a dream. So he decided to change outstanding talent. System, copy the entry of Innate Level 20, and replace it with the purple entry of outstanding talent, Ling. The entry was copied and replaced successfully, the system voice sounded, and Lin Feng was surprised by the changes that had taken place. He only felt that his muscles, bones, veins and veins were cleansed, his body was much lighter, and the soul power in his body was running much faster. The soul power in his body skyrocketed by several levels. Now his true soul power has reached level 40. As long as he obtains the 4th soul ring, he can become a soul master. This feeling is really great. At level 20, the cultivation speed is much faster than the innate full soul power. Just breathe gently and you can feel the soul power running in your body. Lin Feng was excited. He couldn't imagine how fast he would grow in the future. Who is this person next to you? Zhu King asked Dugu Yan politely, and his expression seemed to be puzzled by Lin Feng, who was distracted. Lin Feng, Senior is talking to you. Dugu Yan's urgent call brought Lin Feng, who was immersed in joy, back to reality. Meet you, Senior, I'm Lin Feng, I'm a new member of the reserve team. Lin Feng hurriedly pretended to be calm and greeted Zhu King. So you are Lin Feng, I heard Teacher Qin Ming mention you before, 12-year-old soul master, now the first genius of Xiandao. The future is promising. Now that you are here, the Xiandao reserve team is finally complete. Zhu King looked appreciative. Dugu Yan was proud when she heard the praise of Xiandao's eldest prince Zuking for Lin Feng. How could my man be bad? The other members of the reserve team were shocked when they heard about another 12-year-old soul master. What happened to the academy this year? 2 evildoers came in a row. Ha ha ha, King is right, this Lin Feng might surpass my record. Qin Ming walked slowly towards them from a distance, smiling proudly. He recruited both Lin Feng and Dugu Yan, so he had reason to be proud. The eldest prince smiled slightly at Qin Ming's words. About Lin Feng. When Dugu Yan and others first came to Xiandao Academy, he learned about it from Qin Ming. After that, he sent someone to secretly investigate Lin Feng. The reason why Lin Feng was able to practice so fast was just because he took the elixir. Even the martial soul of Dugu Yan beside him evolved into the violent Snake King because he took the strange elixir given by Lin Feng. Although this elixir is good, if you take too much, your soul power will be weak and you will definitely suffer a backlash. It's not that their Wuhan Hall doesn't have elixir to improve soul power, but I just don't want to take it. My soul power is at the innate level 20, and no 1% can compare with me. Why is there one person missing? Where is Yu Xianheng? Qin Ming glanced around and found that Yu Xianheng was not there. Teacher, I'm here. At this time, Yu Xianheng finally came late, looked at Lin Feng with fear, and quickly mixed into the crowd. Since everyone is here, everyone should practice on their own. If you need anything, just go to my office. Qin Ming arranged things, looked at Lin Feng with satisfaction, and turned to leave. After Qin Ming left, Lin Feng looked around. There were a total of 7 people in the team. In addition to them, there were 3 extras. The 3 of them had average talents, but they were only 16 years old, just the age to participate in the Soul Master competition. But this is also good, the team can have more advantages. But Lin Feng shook his head again. These 3 will definitely be replaced by Yi Lingling and the others in the later period. As for Zuking, why did he quit the team in the later Soul Master competition? He was not seen anymore. Thinking of this, Lin Feng was full of doubts. If he wanted to figure this out, he could only wait until later. Let's see what treasures this Xiandao Academy has. Lin Feng walked to the corner and looked around the huge training ground. Then he took out the dragon-seeking ruler from his soul-guiding belt. To find the dragon and divide the gold, look at the winding mountain. Lin Feng looked serious and muttered something. The dragon-seeking ruler in his hand stopped after rotating for a while. Found it. Lin Feng smiled a little, holding the dragon-seeking ruler and slowly walked in the indicated direction, with a focused expression. At this time, Dugu Yan suddenly patted Lin Feng on the back. Good, Lin Feng. Are you skipping class again? I caught you again, Dugu Yan said with a serious face. Wow, you scared me. Hey, Yaner, don't make noise, I'm busy with work. Lin Feng's body shuddered, and he turned to Dugu Yan and said. Lin Feng, what is this in your hand? Dugu Yan looked at the strange thing in Lin Feng's hand and asked. This is a dragon-seeking ruler. Legend has it that it can be used to find treasures in treasure lands. Lin Feng introduced it to himself, and his footsteps followed the instructions again. Wow. So amazing, I want to go with you. Dugu Yan jumped forward and grabbed the corner of Lin Feng's clothes, and followed him closely. Chapter 29, Treasure Appears, Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal Grade. At this time, due to the class, the huge campus was empty. The towering teaching buildings, the golden exterior walls, and the glazed tiles that sparkled in the sun. All of them tell the glorious history and deep red background of this college. Suddenly, Lin Feng looked focused, following the frequency of the dragon-seeking ruler's shaking, and stopped by a flower bed in the college. Oh, Lin Feng, why did you suddenly stop moving? Dugu Yan looked around and bumped into Lin Feng accidentally. The dragon-seeking ruler is not moving, Lin Feng answered thoughtfully. He looked up in the direction indicated by the dragon-seeking ruler, and saw rows of buildings. Teacher's dormitory? It really is not moving, so magical. This thing was spinning non-stop just now. Is the direction pointed by this dragon-seeking ruler the teacher's dormitory in front? Dugu Yan poked his head out from behind Lin Feng and observed carefully, imitating Lin Feng to look in the direction indicated by the dragon-seeking ruler. Yes, this proves that there is a high chance of treasures appearing in the teacher's dormitory ahead. Lin Feng nodded, retracted his gaze, and confirmed Dugu Yan's words. Ah. Are we going to steal things in the teacher's dormitory? It's quite exciting to think about it. Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng expectantly, his eyes kept spinning, and his body was eager to try. Lin Feng pretended not to hear anything and held the dragon-seeking ruler in front of him. He looked around and observed the surrounding buildings and environment. He didn't want to steal things in other people's dormitories. Hey, Lin Feng, this dragon-seeking ruler is displayed in front. Why are you still wandering around here? Let's go, let's go. I want to see what treasures are in this teacher's dormitory. Okay. Dugu Yan stepped forward and hugged Lin Feng's arm, whispering in his ear. It's not a good behavior to steal things in other people's dormitories. Let's take a look. Lin Feng hugged Dugu Yan's waist with one hand, and said to her with a doting look. At this time, the dowsing ruler in Lin Feng's hand suddenly rotated again, vibrating violently. Yaner, the dowsing ruler is moving again, and another treasure has appeared. Lin Feng looked excited. Xianhao Academy really has many treasures. Lin Feng released his arms around Dugu Yan and dragged the dowsing ruler horizontally with both hands. Dugu Yan took a closer look, her eyes full of expectation. Ding ding ding. After a burst of metallic vibrations, the dowsing ruler swayed straight and pointed to the direction behind the two. Behind? Huh? Lin Feng, didn't we just come from behind? Could this thing be broken? Dugu Yan pulled up Lin Feng's arm and said with a puzzled look. No. Lin Feng looked at the dowsing ruler in his hand and answered seriously. The greater the amplitude of the dowsing ruler's vibration, the closer the treasure is to us. According to the current vibration frequency, this treasure should be 10 meters, 9 meters, 8 meters away from us. Huh? Both of them were stunned. What kind of treasure can move this thing? They turned back suddenly. An old man in green clothes and green hair was staring at the two of them. Dugubo? Lin Feng was surprised. Dugubo's eyes moved slightly, and he looked at Dugu Yan holding Lin Feng's hand, his face livid. Grandpa. Dugu Yan was surprised to see that it was her grandfather. She quickly let go of Lin Feng and hugged her grandfather. Grandpa, why are you here? Dugu Yan asked coquettishly in Dugubo's arms. Grandpa misses his granddaughter, and it's not enough to come to see him. It's been so long since we last met. Do you miss Grandpa? Dugubo stroked Dugu Yan's head, squatted down and said with a smile. How can it be so long? I just started school a few days ago. Of course I miss you. Dugu Yan pouted and whispered at first, and then immediately changed her attitude. Huh? I see you miss your gentle hometown every day. I'm afraid you have forgotten me, an old man. Dugubo stood up and glanced at Lin Feng, then turned around and said to Dugu Yan jokingly. No, Yaner likes Grandpa the most. Dugu Yan hugged Grandpa tightly and rubbed her head against him. Junior Lin Feng greets Senior Douluo. Lin Feng hurried forward and greeted him respectfully. Although he had met Dugubo several times before, Dugubo's attitude towards him was always cold. After all, it was him who took away his cabbage. Dugubo nodded calmly and said nothing. Although this kid helped Yaner's martial soul evolve, his behavior of playing both sides always made me, an old man, dislike him. Grandpa, just accept Lin Feng. Don't be so stern as if someone owes you 2 or 500,000. Lin Feng has always been very good to me. Dugu Yan looked at the weird atmosphere between the two and said hurriedly. Humph, now you only have him in your heart. I'm afraid there is no place for Grandpa. Dugubo looked helpless and looked down at Dugu Yan. How could that be, Grandpa? You are always the first in my heart, Lin Feng. Lin Feng can only be second. Dugu Yan could only say this for Lin Feng. She hugged Dugubo, looked at Lin Feng and blinked. Her eyes were very familiar. That meant, I will make it up to you in the evening. That's more like it. Dugubo's tense face finally relaxed, and he said with a smile. Who let his precious granddaughter like it? Then what can Grandpa do? I can only listen to you. Dugubo sighed, as if he had made some kind of decision. Lin Feng, yes, Grandpa. Seeing Dugubo's relenting, Lin Feng responded quickly. Huh? You are smart. I asked you if you can treat Yaner sincerely in the future. Dugubo's expression was serious, and his tone revealed calmness and majesty. Please rest assured, Grandpa, I am absolutely sincere to Yaner. I will definitely not let you down. Lin Feng nodded, with an affirmative look. Okay, if I hear you bullying Yaner in the future, I will never forgive you. Dugubo's words were sharp, and he would not tolerate Lin Feng's disobedience. Yes, Grandpa. Lin Feng cupped his hands again. Okay, Grandpa finally agreed. Seeing Grandpa agreed, Dugu Yan happily rushed over to hug Lin Feng. Just now I saw you holding something like a plate in your hands. What are you doing? Dugubo asked with a puzzled expression. Grandpa, that's a dragon-seeking ruler. It can explore the treasures nearby. Just now the dragon-seeking ruler guided us that the treasure is behind us. But there's only you behind us, Grandpa, could it be? Grandpa, what treasure do you have on you? Dugu Yan took the dragon-seeking ruler from Lin Feng's hand and imitated Lin Feng's introduction. How can I have any treasure? This thing is a figment of the imagination, if such an artifact really appeared in the world. Would all the treasures in the world have been collected long ago? Dugu looked unconvinced. Thanks to Book Friend 2042 for the monthly ticket. Thanks to Book Friend 5156 for the monthly ticket. Please keep reading, keep reading. Please try not to keep reading, I will try to update more in the future. Thanks to all the book friends. Chapter 30 What Magical Grass? This is my wife's dowry. Grandpa, what's that on your waist? At this time, Lin Feng's eyes shone brightly, and he pointed at the bag on Dugubo's waist. You little brat, you dare to set your eyes on my treasure bag? Dugu subconsciously covered his hands with his hands. Ha ha ha, oh? So the treasure that the dragon-seeking ruler points to is the treasure bag on Grandpa's waist. Dugu Yan smiled playfully, and stretched out his hand to take it. Hey, Yaner, you can't use this thing now, I'll keep it for you first. Dugu quickly stretched out his hand to stop him. Humph. Grandpa is so stingy, you won't even let me take a look? Dugu Yan put his hands on his waist and put on an angry look. Grandpa, the dragon-seeking ruler is not pointing to the treasure bag, but the things inside, Lin Feng said calmly. What can be in it? I usually put some commonly used herbs. Dugu looked indifferent and casually presented those herbs in front of Lin Feng. Yes, Lin Feng, my grandfather usually puts some herbs in this treasure bag. When I was a child, my grandfather used the herbs here to treat my bumps and bumps. Dugu Yan also asked with a puzzled look. Lin Feng smiled and did not answer. He took out the dragon-seeking ruler again. Ding ding ding, ding ding ding, that's right, these are the three. After a search with the dragon-seeking ruler, he found 3 immortal herbs in the pile of herbs. Lin Feng opened his mouth in surprise. Because he had learned about herbs since he was a child, his father had specially exchanged some pharmacopoeias from the Puyi clan for him to study a few years ago. So he knew the effects of immortal herbs very well. These 3 immortal herbs were not among the ones Tang San got. It turned out that the old guy Dugu had picked a lot of immortal herbs and put them on his body before Tang San left. Ah. What's special about these 3? Dugu Yan asked curiously. She didn't notice that Dugubo's eyes began to shine after hearing what Lin Feng said. This dark purple fairy grass is called the 5-poison fairy grass. It has the effect of gathering soul power and absorbing toxins. If it is properly matched with other fairy grasses, it will have unexpected effects. One of these 2 is the dragon tendon bone forging flower, and the other is the red flame supreme yang fairy grade. Both are rare and top-grade fairy grasses. If they are placed in the hands of the soul masters who are suitable for them, they are enough to change the world and change lives. Lin Feng's face was surprised, and he introduced it to the grandfather and grandson seriously. In fact, he was the one who was suitable for the red flame supreme yang fairy grade. Okay, Grandpa, it turns out that you have so many good things hidden. Don't tell me. Dugu Yan believed in Lin Feng's words. Before, his martial soul evolution changed after eating the herbs he gave. At this time, Dugubo's eyes widened with excitement. Lin Feng, you recognize these medicinal herbs? He said in shock. Of course, I have studied fairy grasses quite a lot, and these are a kind of fairy grass, Lin Feng said with a proud expression. He had already guessed what the dragon-seeking ruler was guiding him to. It's not just 3 immortal herbs, but also one of the most precious treasures on Douluo Continent, the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Immortal herbs? Immortal herbs? So that's their name. I knew that these herbs growing in the center must be extraordinary. Come with me. Dugu had an excited smile on his face, grabbed the 2 of them with both hands, and jumped up. Swoosh, 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 the 3 of them flew straight into the air, and Dugu Yan and Lin Feng only felt their eyes go dark. A moment later, they passed through a dense forest under their feet. The 3 of them came to a valley. What is this? Lin Feng opened his eyes again and looked around in confusion. The valley was filled with water vapor, and there was a pool of hot spring water under the mountain stream. The hot spring water was divided into 2 pieces by milky white and vermilion, forming a Tai Chi pattern. The 2 colors were clearly separated, and they did not invade each other and stayed on their own side. There were also various strange-looking and colorful flowers and plants around. This is the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, Lin Feng said excitedly. He finally came here. Ho ha ho ha. As expected, I was right. This is my chance. dragon-seeking ruler, son of luck, I love you guys so much. Lin Feng was overjoyed. You kid, you know a lot. Do you know all these herbs around? Dugu asked expectantly after seeing Lin Feng's reaction. Lin Feng once again scanned the surroundings carefully. Yes, there are quite a few top-quality fairy herbs around here, Lin Feng said excitedly. Ha ha ha, good grandson-in-law, Dugu laughed heartily. He had known for a long time that these herbs were not simple, but he had never known their effects or how to use them. Now thanks to Lin Feng, a good grandson-in-law. Before, when Lin Feng gave Yanner the fairy herbs to help her spirit evolve, he had thought of bringing Lin Feng here to see. But at that time, he still had to observe him for a while. Tell me, what are these? Dugu asked anxiously. Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng with admiration. Her man seemed to know everything. Lin Feng stood up and walked to a large pink flower not far in front of him, stopped, and sniffed gently. Sure enough, the flower fragrance was that kind of light and refreshing. This one is the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal Product. Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal Product is the nemesis of all poisons. The fragrance it emits has the effect of neutralizing all toxins, but this fairy grass itself can only overcome poisons, not detoxify. The range covered by the light pink light shield on this big flower is the range where it can overcome poisons. Lin Feng turned around again and walked towards a white herb next to the ice and fire yin-yang Izhanji. The top of the white herb is octagonal, and unlike the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal Product, it does not emit any smell. This is the octagonal black ice grass, which can paralyze the central nervous system and make people feel cold and chilled. It is a poisonous grass. Its toxins are probably more terrifying than the Bilan Snake King poison of Senior Poison Douluo. Ho ha ho ha, sure enough, it's just as I thought. There are some good treasures here. Dugu bent down and walked straight to a white flower that looked like a peony, and bent down to pick it. Grandpa, no, this is acacia heartbroken red. If you pick it casually, you will die. Dugu's heart trembled, and he quickly stopped what he was doing. Lin Feng, in this case, tell me how to pick it, Dugu said in an almost commanding tone. Ahem. Do grandpa. It's hard for me to do anything when you talk like this. Lin Feng coughed and turned his head to the side as if nothing had happened. Let's not beat around the bush, he wants to divide the family property. Dugu was immediately furious at Lin Feng's words. You stinky boy, you were calling me grandpa just now, but when I asked you to do something, you became do grandpa. Boy, I think you are asking for a fight. Grandpa, why are you hitting me? Seeing this, Dugu Yan hurried forward to hug Lin Feng, turned around and looked at his grandfather fiercely. Yan, are you? Hey, okay, Lin Feng, just tell me what you want, I'll give you a fairy grass, okay? Dugu looked helpless, put away the soul power in his hand, and said unhappily. A Titled Douluo, was actually controlled by a junior today. Grandpa, what are you talking about? What you are giving now is not my wife's dowry in the future. How can I take Yanner's things? Right, Yanner wife. Lin Feng hugged Dugu Yan tightly and straightened his back. That's right, Grandpa is really stingy. I don't love Yanner anymore. Dugu Yan also echoed Lin Feng with tears and snot. Chapter 31 Lao Deng, pack it up for me, I'll pack it up. Hey. Lin Feng, you kid, okay, just take whatever you like, but the premise is to find a magic grass that suits Yanner first. Dugu was so angry that his beard curled up, but seeing Yanner's protective look, he had no choice but to say it. This little cotton jacket has started to leak before she even got married. Grandpa is so good. Long live Grandpa, Grandpa loves Yanner the most. Dugu Yan jumped up happily. Dugu smiled and said nothing. Then, Lin Feng took Dugu Yan's hand and walked to a magic grass. What is this? Dugu asked excitedly. It was a white and bright flower, which looked as spotless as a blue lotus in a white couple. It must be extremely precious. Yes, what kind of flower is this? It's so beautiful. Dugu Yan also came closer to take a closer look. This is Narcissus jade muscle and bone, which can beautify the skin and nourish the muscles and bones, Lin Feng answered casually. What effect does Yanner have when taking this? Dugu looked puzzled. I didn't say it was this one, Lao Deng, help me pick some, I want to pack them and take them back, Lin Feng said confidently. What is Lao Deng? This, Lao Deng is a respectful title for elders in my hometown, Lin Feng explained Dugu's question seriously. Humph. I've become your follower and errand boy now. Although he said this, Dugu still put away the Narcissus jade muscle bone for Lin Feng. Then, The three of them came to a few more immortal herbs. Is this one suitable for Yaner? No. What about this one? No. Lin Feng answered with a smile while directing Dugu Yan to pick other immortal herbs. This Kiran Tongshan Chrysanthemum and Moyushinsu are suitable for Shimashimo and others. Their martial spirits can not only be used for defense, but also turned into shields and thrown out to cut the enemy. These two immortal herbs, one increases defense and the other increases attack, are perfect for the two of them. Yaner, you can pick all the ones in that area. Lin Feng looked excited. There are not many opportunities to purchase such goods. Okay, Dugu Yan picked up Lin Feng's storage belt and jumped to the direction Lin Feng pointed. This is good, I can sell it to the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sect in the future. Hey, there is also this one. This one is suitable for father, maybe he can break through the title. This one is so-so. Hey, put it in it first, Lin Feng muttered to himself while directing Dugu Yan to pick the fairy grass. Soon, Lin Feng had filled several storage bags with the fairy grass. Dugu Bo looked at his originally lush garden, which was now bald here and there. His face became more and more embarrassed. Lin Feng, have you found the fairy grass suitable for Yaner? Dugu Bo said with a livid face at this time. Not yet, Grandpa. At this point, Lin Feng suddenly stopped the busy action in his hands. He seemed to be thinking about something. Grandpa, do you still have 3 more magical herbs in your treasure bag? You little brat, don't go too far, I'm warning you, you didn't even let go of the ones in my pocket. Dugu Bo was furious, and he wanted to eat Lin Feng alive. Just now I suddenly thought that there was a magical herb suitable for Yaner. Really? Dugu Bo asked with a look of disbelief. Really? Lin Feng nodded affirmatively. Grandpa, please open it and let Lin Feng take another look. Lin Feng is also thinking about me. Dugu Yan also hurried forward and said coquettishly to Grandpa. Okay, I'm afraid of you too. Dugu Bo opened the treasure bag again with a reluctant look on his face, and presented the 3 magical herbs just now. The 5 poisonous magical grass in the middle. Lin Feng took a closer look. It was indeed suitable for Yaner. Grandpa do, as far as I know, if Yaner takes this herb and the 9th grade purple Ganoderma we just picked together, a poison pill can be condensed in Dugu Yan's body. The 9th grade purple Ganoderma has the effect of strengthening the body and replenishing the essence, and the 5 poison fairy grass has the ability to condense toxins. It can allow Yaner to use toxins and soul power freely in the future. The more Lin Feng talked, the happier he felt for Yaner. This kid was so sure, he should not be lying. Dugu Bo nodded with satisfaction and agreed with Lin Feng's statement. Dugu Yan also looked happy. After all, his strength would be improved with the help of Lin Feng. And these 2 fairy herbs next to him. Lin Feng looked surprised, as if he had discovered something. What's wrong? Dugu Bo asked in confusion. Grandpa Dugu, has your body been troubled by your own toxins? Yes, how did you know? Dugu Bo asked vigilantly. Last time when Yaner ate the fairy grass to evolve her martial spirit, I found toxins in her body. I thought that she and you cultivated the same martial spirit, so you should be the same. The dragon tendon bone strengthening flower on your right hand can cleanse the essence and marrow and improve the potential of the body. It can also remove the toxins in your body, Lin Feng answered seriously and methodically. Okay, if it's really as you said, it can remove the toxins in my body. Not only will I personally entrust Yaner to you for life, if you take anything from me today, I will have no objection. Dugu Bo heard Lin Feng's answer and couldn't suppress his excitement. He was shocked and overjoyed. He didn't expect that his poison would be removed one day. Dugu Yan was worried when she heard that her grandfather was poisoned. She cried and hugged Dugu Bo. Yaner, don't cry, don't cry. Didn't my grandson-in-law say that there is a way to treat it? Dugu Bo caressed Yaner lovingly. Lin Feng, you must cure my grandfather. Dugu Yan turned around and said to Lin Feng in a crying voice. Don't worry, Yaner, no problem. Besides, Lao Dang, I've cured your poison. The Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal product in your left hand will belong to me. Lin Feng smiled and answered as if he had thought it through. He didn't expect that the 3 immortal herbs he met at the beginning were the most suitable for the 3 of them. This is a coincidence. If the green phosphorus Snake King had not cultivated into Titled Douluo, the poison would enter his body and die. But after removing the poison, with Dugu Bo's strength as a Titled Douluo, the poison would not enter his body again. And the Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal product in his left hand can not only purify the fire attribute martial spirit, but also evolve his own flame into the ultimate fire. It is very suitable for himself to take. But let's not talk about myself now. Dugu Yan is still crying beside him. Cure Dugubo's poison first. Then, Lin Feng asked Dugu Yan to wait by the side. He took the dragon tendon bone forging flower handed over by Dugubo, and sat cross-legged with a poisoned Douluo face to face. He circulated his soul power, mixed it with the collected 1,000-year-old snow silkworms and ground it into a medicinal juice, and evenly applied it on Dugubo's whole body. At the moment when the medicine juice came into contact with Dugubo's body, thick green poisonous smoke began to spread from his body. Lin Feng quickly placed the Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpin in front of him to resist the erosion of the poisonous fog. But the soul power in his hand never stopped running, because relying on medicine alone would not completely force out the poison, and it also needed the blessing of soul power. Dugu Yan behind him sat cross-legged and inhaled the emitted poisonous fog. The poisonous power of the Bilan Snake King carried in the poisonous fog is of great benefit to her now. An hour later, Dugubo slowly opened his eyes, put on his clothes and stood up. Dugubo felt the changes in his body and was delighted. Sure enough, there was no poison in his body. Not only was there no poison, but even his soul power had broken through to level 92. Lin Feng, Yaner, Grandpa succeeded, Dugubo said excitedly. Dugu Yan stood up, turned around and happily hugged the two of them. Chapter 32 refreshed Dugubo. Laodang, you are definitely taking advantage of my luck. That's great, Grandpa. Dugu Yan's worries were put to rest, and she burst into tears of joy and hugged her grandfather. Lin Feng didn't expect him to be so enthusiastic, and he was a little uncomfortable. He looked at Dugubo and checked his entry panel. Dugubo, gender, male, age, 71 years old, innate soul power, level 9, martial soul, Bilan Snake King, soul power, level 92, entries, honoring promises, white, old poison, green, outstanding talent, purple, meeting a noble person in life, purple, honoring promises, white, your character will be one that keeps its promises and repays favors. His character will repay favors. No wonder there is such a big difference between him and his past. Lin Feng nodded in affirmation. Old poison, green, you are good at using poison, and you will achieve considerable accomplishments in using poison. Noble person in life, purple, you are destined to meet a noble person in life to solve your difficulties. Old poison, needless to say, this noble person in life should refer to himself. Is this also considered a purple talent? It looks like an entry that can only be used once in a lifetime. Since the other party has met this noble man, won't this entry be invalid in the future? He must be replaced. System, refresh Dugubo's entry for me. Lin Feng waved his hand. He is a man of his word, and the old poison must not be replaced. This is Dugubo's characteristic, and it is not good to change rashly. But the latter ones can be refreshed first. Ling. The entry has been refreshed. Dugubo's entry panel refreshed, and 12 new entries appeared. Lin Feng skipped the first 6 entries and saw the one with outstanding talent, innate full soul power. Replace, innate full soul power must be replaced. There are fairy grass, plus innate full soul power. This talent is top-notch. Laodang is so lucky, he must have taken advantage of my son of luck. I will reluctantly ask you for a few fairy grass. Lin Feng showed a kind smile. The last purple entry is next. Ling. Please choose one of the following 3 entries. 4 great laughers, purple, you can improve your attributes by laughing wildly. The more loud your laughter, the more attributes you can improve. Grandfather, purple, for every grandson or granddaughter you have, the age of your soul ring will increase by 1,000 years, and can be attached to any soul ring. Natural +2, purple, your soul power will always increase by 2 levels. His 4 great laughers. This reminded him of 4 familiar faces. The sky is clear, the rain has stopped, and Laodang feels that he is doing well again. Thinking of the old grandfather in his 90s, with his hands on his hips and laughing wildly, Lin Feng couldn't help but shudder. Can't choose, can't choose. Grandfather, this is also a garbage entry. Choose natural +2, Lin Feng made a decision. He had seen this entry before. There is also natural +3, which is a golden entry. But his soul power is still very low, so it's useless to choose it. He should consider choosing it later. After the entry was replaced, Dugubo was hugging his granddaughter happily, and suddenly his face was surprised. Oh no, I'm about to break through again. After a wave of soul power fluctuations, Dugubo's soul power inexplicably reached level 94. This made him very confused. Grandpa, it's okay, This is a normal phenomenon. It may be that the herbs that Lao Deng took before were not completely absorbed, and the medicinal power was stimulated all of a sudden, Lin Feng explained before Dugu Yan asked. Is that so? Dugu Bo looked puzzled, but felt that what he said was very reasonable. Anyway, Lin Feng, this time you will help me remove the toxins in my body. From now on, you will be my future grandson-in-law. Grandpa, I owe you another favor. Dugu Bo looked at Lin Feng with satisfaction and nodded. Ahem, Lao Deng, don't forget the Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal product that we just agreed on, Lin Feng coughed and reminded. Smelly boy. Here you go. After receiving the immortal product handed over by Dugu Bo, Lin Feng took the immortal grass back into his belt. Lin Feng, you just said that Tianer can take the immortal grass to condense the poison pill. Is it possible? Dugu Bo said nervously and worriedly. Grandpa, look at you, Lin Feng can remove the toxins in your body for so many years, why don't you believe him? Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng with gratitude and trust. It can be done, Lin Feng nodded affirmatively. Lin Feng found a small natural hot spring pool not far away. He threw the various poisonous herbs he collected into it. What are you doing? Dugu Bo asked puzzled. If Yaner wants to condense the poison pill in her body this time, the toxins provided by the immortal grass are far from enough. The absorbed toxins must be enough, otherwise the poison pill may not condense and be attacked by different toxins. Lao Deng, go find some more poisons. Lin Feng added herbs to the hot spring pool to make a medicinal bath while explaining and directing Dugu Bo. So that's how it is, Lin Feng, this is my possessions accumulated over the years, take whatever you need. Without saying anything, Dugu Bo handed Lin Feng a soul guide that he had been hiding in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Lin Feng opened it and took a closer look. He was surprised and opened his mouth wide. Not to mention the various poisons, there were also hundreds of precious medicinal materials and rare fairy herbs. If he hadn't taken a lot of things from him before, Lin Feng didn't want to return them to Dugu Bo. You won't need that much. A person can only take one fairy herb at a time, unless it is a fairy herb with complementary medicinal properties. Lin Feng selected some suitable poisons and herbs with soul-condensing power and threw them in together. After a while, Yaner, take off your clothes and go in. Lao Deng, step aside and listen to my instructions later. Lin Feng wiped his sweat and said to the grandfather and grandson next to him. HMPH, stinky boy. Dugu Bo consciously found a place nearby and sat cross-legged to condense his soul power. Okay, Dugu Yan took off her clothes, revealing her delicate and smooth skin, with a faint warm glow on her fair skin. Her face flushed slightly, and she lowered her head and slowly walked into the medicinal bath. Although it was not the first time that Dugu Yan and Lin Feng were honest with each other, it was the first time in this valley. Lin Feng took out the 5 poisons immortal grass and the 9th grade purple Ganoderma and asked Dugu Yan to take them. Yaner, hold your breath and concentrate, and feel the changes in your danshan. Absorb the toxins in the pool around your body, circulate the soul power in your body, and guide the toxins to your danshan, Lin Feng said slowly. After a while, the 2 kinds of immortal herbs began to work in Dugu Yan's body. Dugu Yan's face was covered with beads of sweat, her face was painful, and her breathing was rapid. She only felt that the soul power in her body was being diluted by the danshan, and her life was slowly passing away with the disappearance of her soul power. She can no longer suppress the toxins in her body caused by the 5 poisonous immortal grass. Thanks to Ling Lanhong, Brothers in the Dark, Kane Sell, Ud Bubai, and Ru Ming in the Reincarnation for sending the monthly ticket. You can add the book club. 615,870,855, and you can get membership from time to time. Please read it, it is very important. Chapter 33, Taking the Red Flame Yang Immortal Product, the Ultimate Fire. Dugu Yan couldn't help but cried out in pain. What's going on, Lin Feng? Dugu Bo heard Yaner's cry of pain and asked anxiously without turning back. It's okay, she's absorbing poison. As Lin Feng spoke, he began to transfer soul power to Dugu Yan with both hands. Old Deng, come and help. My soul power alone won't last long at her absorption speed, Lin Feng said to Dugu Bo, who was still leaning back and looking nervous. Yaner, Grandpa is here. Before Lin Feng finished speaking, Dugu Bo rushed over like a gust of wind, slapped his hands next to the hot spring and injected soul power. Dugu Yan lay under the spring water, with only her head exposed above, her brows furrowed. Time passed by minute. After an unknown number of hours, Dugu Yan's brows showed signs of relaxation. At the same time, At the training center of Xiandao Academy. A day had passed. Teacher Qin, why don't I see Lin Feng, Dugu Yan and the others? Yu Xianheng came to the training ground, looked for a long time but didn't see the two figures, and asked in confusion. They have asked for leave, don't worry. Qin Ming happened to feel the breath of poison Douluo yesterday, and found an excuse to say. I guess poison Douluo is meeting his future grandson-in-law at this moment. Okay, thank you teacher. Yu Xianheng turned around and smiled, and found a place to sit cross-legged and condense his soul power. This is a good opportunity given by God. I practice hard when you ask for leave. I practice hard when you eat. I practice when you sleep. When I practice well, Lin Feng, what can you use to fight me? I work so hard, and I will eventually become the new Thunder Douluo. Double the training today. When Yu Xianheng thought about how hard he worked, he felt energetic all over. Walking with the wind. Suddenly, just as he walked into the training area, a noisy sound attracted Yu Xianheng's attention. Isn't this Lin Feng just relying on his talent? It's just the first day of coming to the academy, and he asked for leave whenever he wanted. What does he think of our reserve team? It turned out that a few extras were resting on the equipment, and they were complaining about their dissatisfaction. Humph. What qualifications do a bunch of noobs have to say about others? Yu Xianheng snorted lightly, looking at them with disdain. Yu Xianheng, what are you talking about? Who is the noob? Tell me clearly. Several people rolled up their sleeves and were about to teach Yu Xianheng a lesson. Hey. Go back to training. Zhu King coughed lightly, looking at them with serious eyes, revealing a wave of pressure. Tisk. Yu Xianheng, I won't beat you today for the sake of His Royal Highness the Prince. Next time, be honest with us. Several people looked at Zhu King with a little fear, said harsh words to Yu Xianheng, and left in a huff. Yu Xianheng ignored them and continued to condense his soul power. Now if he wants to surpass Lin Feng, he can only make up for his shortcomings with hard work. On the other side, at the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Martial Soul, Jade Scale Snake King, Dugu summoned his own martial soul and began to continuously supply soul power to Yaner. Dugu Yan's breath gradually stabilized, and the poison pill in his body was slowly condensing into shape. Old Eng, increase your soul power. The poison pill in Yaner's body is taking shape. Now is the critical period. Another night passed. The sky was just getting light, and the first ray of sunlight in the morning hit the faces of several people. It's finally getting better. Old Eng, hold on for a while. Lin Feng was so tired that he collapsed on the ground to rest. Lin Feng, how much poison can the poison pill in Yaner's body withstand? Dugu asked with concern. After the poison pill is condensed, it can absorb about 30% of the toxins you release. After getting Lin Feng's accurate answer, Dugu frowned. 7th Soul Skill, Martial Soul True Body. Dugu turned into the Jade Scale Snake King and sprayed out poisonous fog all over the sky. As Dugu Yan operated a poison pill, the poisonous fog in the sky was swallowed up by Dugu Yan in the center like a vortex. Another quarter of an hour later, Dugu Yan slowly opened her eyes and stood up. Lin Feng, Grandpa, I've done it, thank you for your hard work. Dugu Yan's eyes moistened as she looked at the fallen Lin Feng and the tired grandpa. What's the hard work? Lin Feng stood up suddenly and winked at her. You broke the contract yesterday, so you have to make it up to me today. We are all family. Why are you saying those things? How do you feel now? Dugu asked with concern despite his fatigue. My soul power is now level 40, and I feel that my toxins are condensed in my danshin. I feel that I am more flexible in using toxins and soul power now. Dugu Yan wiped her eyes and said happily. Lin Feng, condense the inner elixir this time. My soul power is finally better than yours. After Dugu Yan calmed down, she began to show off to Lin Feng with a little pride. Really? Yaner? Lin Feng's mouth corners slightly raised, and he instantly released his best soul power state. The fairy grass plus so many poisons, and Dugu's 30% soul power, let her level up 9 levels in total. I thought I surpassed him. Unfortunately, I was still too naive. Level 40 soul power. Dugu Yan and Dugu were both surprised. Grandpa, he bullied me. After I took the fairy grass, our soul powers were just equal. Dugu Yan hugged Dugu and said depressedly. Ha. After I absorb the red flame fairy grass, won't the gap be even bigger, huh? Lin Feng looked at Dugu Yan with a teasing look, causing her to pout and hit Dugu. Grandpa, look at him, Lin Feng is bad. Dugu looked at the two people playing in front of him, and couldn't help feeling warm in his heart, and he looked at Lin Feng with more satisfaction. From now on, if I am not here, I will feel relieved to have Lin Feng accompany Yaner. Now the only thing is to help them improve their strength as soon as possible, while my old bones can still be used. Ha ha ha, you two stop messing around, Lin Feng. After you absorb the fairy grass, I'll take you to the sunset forest to hunt for spirit rings. Dugu Bo looked at the two with a kind smile. At the same time, Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng fiercely with a resentful look, as if telling him that he would not get out of bed tonight unless he was exhausted. Lin Feng met Dugu Yan's eyes and hurriedly dodged. This lady's body is good, I can't afford to offend her, I can't afford to offend her. Then Lin Feng sat cross-legged and began to absorb the Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal Grade. Because of the harmony between the martial soul and the fairy grass, this time Lin Feng absorbed the fairy grass very smoothly. After a while, the fairy grass completely merged with Lin Feng's body. Martial soul possesses the body. The Emperor Flame Nine-Headed Dragon. Lin Feng stood up and slowly summoned the martial soul with a serious expression. After absorbing the Red Flame Supreme Yang Immortal Grade, the Emperor Flame Nine-Headed Dragon has a better quality and is the ultimate among the fire attribute martial souls. Evolved into the ultimate fire. Chapter 34, You Are You Xianheng? You are the one who loves to taunt? Beat me. The huge nine-headed phantom of the Emperor Flame Nine-Headed Dragon covered the sky and closed, emitting a strong and extreme fire. The surrounding flames were extremely hot, which was daunting. The most important thing was that he had also improved a lot of soul power. If calculated according to the Soul Master, it was at least level 7 or 8. But the first level of Soul Sect requires more soul power, which is probably around level 5 or 6. Dugu Yan couldn't help but step back a few steps to release soul power to resist the surging heat wave. Even Dugu Bo was surprised again and again. Obviously, he was also a top-level martial soul, but he could feel a trace of pressure from the dragon on Lin Feng. The top martial soul is not necessarily the ultimate martial soul, but the ultimate martial soul is stronger than most top-level martial souls. Lin Feng, quickly collect your martial soul, it's so hot. Dugu Yan couldn't stand the high temperature and said hurriedly. Okay, Lin Feng collected his martial soul. I'll rest for a while and go to get soul rings for you too, Dugu Bo on the side said happily. Through what happened just now, he also wanted to see the true strength of Lin Feng after absorbing the fairy grass. Great, soul ring, Dugu Yan happily hugged Lin Feng. Lin Feng sensed Dugu Bo's side behind him and deliberately kissed Dugu Yan. Dugu Yan's earlobes turned red. Huh? Young people nowadays are so shameless. Dugu Bo's mouth twitched behind him, and he quickly lowered his head and covered his eyes. Today. Xiandao Academy, Back Mountain. Yu Xianheng concentrated on training alone. The gap with Lin Feng has narrowed for another day. Yu Xianheng put away his soul power and said happily to himself. At this time, 3 figures suddenly appeared in the distance. They were the 3 extras of the reserve team. Yu Xianheng, you looked very arrogant yesterday. I've been studying for so long. Don't you respect your seniors? One of them spoke first, with disdain in his eyes and words. Am I wrong? You can only gossip about others behind their backs. What kind of soul master are you? Yu Xianheng stood up and retorted disdainfully. Yam Qing, he is talking about you, right? At this time, Baru beside him said with a smile. Boy, what's wrong with what I said yesterday? Are you looking for a fight? Yan Qing raised his fist and rushed forward. Baru beside him saw it and quickly stretched out his hand to stop him. Haha, Yan Qing, you are a 16-year-old with a soul power of only level 32, what are you pretending in front of me? You think you are Lin Feng? I can easily crush you to death with one hand. Yu Xianheng sneered and looked at the man in front of him with contempt for overestimating his ability. Fuck you. First soul skill, Wind Blade. Yan Qing couldn't stand the ridicule, summoned his martial soul to turn the surrounding air into blades, and took the lead in attacking Yu Xianheng. First soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. Facing dozens of flying blades that suddenly flew over, Yu Xianheng condensed the Thunder Dragon Claw and slapped it into the air. The air was instantly turbulent wherever he passed, and dozens of sharp blades were easily torn apart. You are quite courageous, you actually did it, Yu Xianheng said in surprise. Who gave you the courage? I am the legitimate son of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, who doesn't have a background. My father is the famous General Xiandao. At this moment, Yu Chen, who had not spoken for a long time among the 3, stood up. What's the use of General Xiandao? You don't even have a title, and you dare to shout here? Yu Xianheng looked down on his family. You are so good, Yu Xianheng, you actually look down on my father. Second soul skill, Knight's momentum. Yi Chen seemed to be insulted by the most important thing, and his hair exploded instantly. He stepped on the soul power warhorse, holding a long sword in his hand, and rushed straight towards Yu Xianheng. Humph! You dare to show off such a petty trick. Second soul skill, thunder and lightning. The countless snakes of electricity coiled around Yu Xianheng's body magnified several times at the same time, turning into countless lightning arrows that flashed towards Yi Chen. First soul skill, Knight's shield. At the same time, Yi Chen quickly swung his sword to block the attacking snake lightning. Yu Xianheng saw that Yi Chen showed a flaw when he was resisting, and jumped up. He condensed soul power in his palm and hit Yi Chen's abdomen with one palm. The shadow of the warhorse dissipated, and Yi Chen was defeated again and again. Bang! Suddenly, after a sound, Yu Xianheng felt that his soul power was filled. Ha ha ha! I actually broke through level 30, a bunch of ants. What can you use to fight me now? Yu Xianheng felt the changes in his body and laughed up to the sky. I actually broke through in a battle. Humph! Brothers, come together. Yi Chen was surprised and sighed at first, and then snorted coldly. Hearing Yi Chen's order, the three of them took off at the same time. Second soul skill, Knight's momentum. Second soul skill, tornado. Second soul skill, Taishan's wrath. 3 attacks attack Yu Xianheng from different directions. 2 fists can't beat 6 hands. Yu Xianheng leaped up, and even though he released a thunderbolt at the first moment, he still couldn't completely resist the attack of several people, and fell heavily to the ground. Tisk, you have no strength, so you can only fight in groups. You didn't like Lin Feng before. If you have the ability, go and fight him. Yu Xianheng spat out a mouthful of blood and sneered unwillingly. Are you sick in the brain, or do you think we are sick? We have no hatred or resentment against him. Why should we deal with him? Yan Qing shook his head disdainfully, looked down at the weak Yu Xianheng in front of him, turned and left. However, after he left, Yi Chen was still touched by what Yu Xianheng said just now. Lin Feng's father, Lin Yi, is a strong contender for the future general, and can be regarded as a political enemy of his father. Now that his father is old, he may retire at any time. As for Lin Feng, it is better to make friends with him, and never make an enemy of him. After several people have completely left, Yu Xianheng endured the pain and got up to find a teacher to treat his injuries. Then he turned around and went to find Qin Ming. Teacher Qin, I have broken through level 30, can you take me to get a spirit ring, to improve his strength? Yu Xianheng dared not slack off for a moment. Okay, I'll get ready, let's go in the afternoon, Qin Ming replied with a smile. He treated all students equally. He was very pleased to see Yu Xianheng's hard work in cultivation these 2 days. Sunset Forest. Several rustling figures were moving towards the heart of the forest. Yu Xianheng followed Qin Ming closely. Now, he urgently needs to find a 1,000-year-old dragon spirit ring. Although there are also soul-hunting forests, there are not many types. The Stardew Great Forest is too far away from the academy, so Qin Ming brought him to the Sunset Forest. Several Soul King level teachers in front of him were exploring the way ahead. Teacher Qin, what can these people do? They are all Soul King level people like you. It's not certain whether they can protect themselves when they encounter danger later. Yu Xianheng was very dissatisfied with today's soul hunting team and said disapprovingly. Shut up, it's good that these teachers are willing to come. How strong a teacher do you want? Qin Ming reprimanded. He was very dissatisfied with Yu Xianheng's answer and was full of disappointment. He didn't expect that Yu Xianheng had such a bad personality. It seems that the dislike of words before was all pretended. After being defeated by Lin Feng once, his true nature was exposed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, My Yenner is naturally beautiful, so what's wrong with absorbing a 10,000-year spirit ring? At this moment, the ground suddenly trembled violently. It's a beast tide of the king of the earth. Teacher Qin, Xianheng, retreat quickly. Yan Queer, a teacher of the flight department, took advantage of his wide aerial vision to discover the movement in the distance. Dozens of kings of the earth were running like migration, and they were heading in the same direction as they were heading. Quick, everyone go in this direction, don't get entangled by them. Kinming quickly directed everyone to turn around and leave quickly. Tisk, so what I said was right, Yushai and Heng chuckled and curled his lips. Kinming paused and looked at Yushai and Heng with dissatisfaction. But then he released his martial spirit, the fiery wolf, grabbed him with one hand, and left in a hurry. On the other side, in the dense woods, there was an open space, and the ground was in a mess. Lin Feng and others had been in the Sunset Forest for a long time. With the help of the dragon-seeking ruler, they quickly found a suitable soul beast for Dugu Yan. With the help of Dugu Yan was now sitting cross-legged to absorb the 10,000-year soul ring. Lin Feng looked at Dugu Yan's back. He remembered that when Tang San was at level 40, he only increased his soul power by 1 level when he absorbed the 10,000-year soul ring. This was enough to show how difficult it was to upgrade soul power at the soul sect level. Now that he has taken the immortal grass, not only has his own flame and physical constitution changed, but his soul power has also directly increased by about 5 levels, which is already very good. With the absorption of the soul ring, it can even reach level 46. Thinking of this, Lin Feng smiled and nodded with satisfaction. Dugu sighed softly as he watched the two of them, but then his mouth corners rose slightly again. In recent years, he clearly felt that the forces of all parties in Douluo Continent have begun to surge undercurrents. If possible, he really wanted to freeze time at this moment. At this moment, a rustling sound in the distance startled Dugu. Lin Feng's heart tightened, and he followed Dugu's gaze and immediately made a posture ready to fight at any time. The two looked towards the distant jungle, only to see several figures swaying back and forth. Xia Feng, don't be so nervous, it's probably just a soul master who comes here to hunt soul beasts. Dugu waved his hand, signaling him to be at ease. In the jungle. This, finally, got rid of those broken spiders. Yushai and Heng panted heavily, his voice intermittent. Hey, is there anyone in the open area ahead? Yan Kuier looked in the direction of Lin Feng and the others and said in surprise. I'll go over and check the situation first, and you can come over when you are sure nothing is wrong. Kinming arranged everyone in an orderly manner. After Kinming's breath was rested and smooth, he slowly walked towards Lin Feng and the other two. Lin Feng? It's you? After Kinming approached and saw the appearance of the few people clearly, he hurried forward to greet them. Teacher Qin, why are you here? Lin Feng was also surprised. He didn't expect to meet them here. What is this? Hello, Senior Dugu. Kinming was surprised to see Dugu, and then nodded with an awkward expression. Yes, Dugu put his hands behind his back and nodded with a serious expression. Lin Feng. We came to Sunset Forest to hunt for spirit rings. What are you doing? Kinming answered Lin Feng's question after seeing Dugu's response. Same as you, Lin Feng smiled, and then signaled Kinming to look at Dugu Yan behind him. Kinming's eyes fell on Dugu Yan, who was sitting cross-legged, and he was shocked to see that she was sitting cross-legged to absorb spirit rings. He was shocked. How is this possible? Dugu Yan wants to obtain spirit rings. Could it be that she has twin martial spirits? Wait, 10,000-year spirit beast. Did Dugu Yan absorb the spirit ring of a 10,000-year spirit beast? Kinming wiped his eyes and looked at the spirit beast corpse beside Dugu Yan with a look of surprise. He couldn't believe that the person he saw in front of him was still Dugu Yan. Humph, my Yanner is very talented. After taking a few magical herbs, she has her level 40 soul power at the age of 12 and absorbed the 10,000-year soul ring. Does it really make you so surprised? Dugu narrowed his eyes slightly, and the corners of his mouth naturally changed from serious to a smug smile, and his tone was slightly questioning. No, Senior Dugu, you misunderstood. It is true that until now, there has not been a soul master who reached the soul sect at the age of 12. In the history of Douluo, I am shallow. It is gratifying that Tian'er can achieve such an achievement. It is also an honor for our Cheyenne Royal Academy, Kinming hurriedly explained with a smile. Then, Kinming waved behind him, indicating that several people could come over. Several teachers quickly came up, saw the scene in front of them, and Kinming's explanation, and stretched their faces in disbelief. Teacher Qin, is this the student Dugu Yan you recruited before, reached the soul sect at such a young age? I recruited him. Kinming nodded and laughed out loud. Lin Feng, is this Dugu Yan absorbing spirit rings? Yushai and Heng, who came late, asked in surprise. You haven't absorbed it yourself? Can't you see it? Lin Feng was speechless at this sudden idiotic question. Impossible, this is absolutely impossible. Yu Xianheng was shocked and couldn't believe it. What are you kidding, Lin Feng? This Dugu Yan has just broken through to the strength of Soul Venerable. After 2 days, he has become a soul sect. Is your brain not working well, or is there something wrong with your eyes? No, I'll let the teachers at the academy treat you. After several days of hard training, Yu Xianheng is now a little bolder when facing Lin Feng again. Lin Feng just smiled. There is no need to pay attention to what the idiot said. You kid, dare to mock my granddaughter and grandson-in-law. I think you are tired of living. Dugu in the corner was furious when he heard this. In an instant, a strong spirit pressure attacked them. Everyone trembled, knelt on one knee and gritted their teeth to support themselves. Yu Xianheng knelt on both knees and wished everyone a happy new year. Senior Dugu, that's not what Junior Xianheng meant. He is short-sighted and outspoken. Please show mercy, Senior Dugu, and don't bother with him, Qin Ming said with pain on his face. Ahem, Grandpa, these are our current teachers and classmates. What are you doing? Seeing that the situation was out of control, Lin Feng hurriedly stepped forward to persuade Dugu Old Deng. Yu Xianheng's grandfather is Thunder Douluo. Although I believe you can beat him, you should still spare his life. At the same time, Lin Feng used voice transmission to remind Dugu again. Dugu was shocked and his mouth twitched. Thunder Douluo Yuanzhen? Can I beat that thing? Why don't I know? This little bastard is so good at making excuses for himself. HMPH, Fenger, I'll give you a favor today. Otherwise, even if Yuanzhen comes, he won't be able to take them away intact. Dugu sent a message to Lin Feng. Thanks to 2453, Bloody Night Walk, 92 Eb, Yuan, and Shang for their monthly tickets. Thanks to Yibu Yinyan, Ud Bubai, and C for their rewards. Please read on, please read on. Thank you all. Chapter 36. Qin Ming felt uncomfortable. Am I really a genius? Having said this, Dugu quickly regained his calm expression. HMPH, a bunch of ignorant people. If Fenger hadn't pleaded for you today, you would have all died here. You teachers, take good care of the students you bring up in the future. Get out of here, don't get in my way, Dugu said unhappily, and then put away his soul power. As the soul power suddenly dissipated, everyone's bodies followed inertia and fell to the ground. Several people supported each other to stand up, just as Yu Xianheng opened his mouth to say something. Damn, you little brat, I've tolerated you all the way. A teacher glared at him, and suddenly slapped Yu Xianheng on the back and knocked him unconscious. Senior Dugu, sorry to bother you, we'll leave now. Qin Ming turned around and waved to signal everyone to take Yu Xianheng with him and leave in a hurry. Bang! With an explosion, Dugu Yan's soul power dissipated. Lin Feng, Grandpa, I successfully absorbed the 10,000-year spirit ring, and my spirit power is now level 41. Dugu Yan stood up happily and shared the good news with it too. Good, as expected of my granddaughter of Poison Douluo, Dugu nodded with satisfaction, walked forward with a smile, and stroked Yaner. Lin Feng, my spirit power is higher than yours now, isn't it? Before you hunted spirit beasts and absorbed spirit rings, you were level 40. Dugu Yan first hugged her grandfather and rubbed against him. Then she turned around and shook her fingers, pointing at Lin Feng and said in a serious manner. Although she knew that this might be the only chance for her to surpass Lin Feng in her life. Okay, you are higher than me, okay. Lin Feng looked at the cute appearance of Yaner in front of him and smiled helplessly. Ho ha, you too. Dugu also laughed happily when he saw this scene. In the distance, Qin Ming and others left. Teacher Qin, is the little boy next to Senior Dugu just now? Lin Feng, also level 40, Yan Queer asked curiously in the sky. It should be. Poison Douluo said that Dugu Yan took some magical grass to reach level 40. There is no reason not to give it to Lin Feng. Qin Ming nodded affirmatively. Huh? Ah, what level 40? What happened? On his back, Yu Xianheng, who had woken up, covered his neck and heard the voice, and unconsciously chatted with him in a daze. What level 40? The one called Lin Feng. Your classmate has also reached level 40 soul power, Yan Queer said indifferently. Ah, how can he? Hey, Yu Xianheng, who heard this completely, was like a bolt from the blue, and his mind was instantly clear. At this time, he sighed repeatedly, covered his chest, and felt depressed. Don't think too much, you two are not from the same world. Qin Ming saw this and comforted him from the side. HMPH, Yu Xianheng jumped off the teacher's back and walked straight forward with an unhappy face. Qin Ming sighed as he looked at Yu Xianheng's back. Originally, he wanted to ask Lin Feng and the others if they needed help, thinking of leaving a good impression in their hearts. But before he could say it, he was ruined by Yu Xianheng in front of him, making it like this now. Things have calmed to this point, and this is the only way. Besides, Lin Feng and Dugu Yan have senior poison Douluo by their side, so they don't need them. Qin Ming quickly caught up with Yu Xianheng, feeling a sense of loss in his heart. When he was in Shrek, he thought he was a rare genius. Unexpectedly, after coming out, he found that there were many people who were more monstrous than him. Not to mention the monstrous cultivation speed of Lin Feng and Dugu Yan. Just a 13-year-old soul master Yu Xianheng in front of him, his talent is not inferior to his. Hey, Dinfu, Teacher Zhao, you always say that I am the #1 genius on the continent. I am afraid Qin Ming will fail your expectations. Qin Ming sighed and couldn't help but mutter to the teachers of Shrek in his heart. He felt ashamed. The real #1 genius on the continent is someone else. Grandpa, let's go find Lin Feng's 4th soul ring. Dugu Yan was delighted to see Lin Feng's frustrated expression. She unconsciously rushed forward to hug Lin Feng and kissed him on the cheek. Lin Feng smiled, hugged Dugu Yan and kissed her on her thin lips. It was soft and sweet. Dugu Bo just smiled blindly on the side. After these few days of getting along, he no longer cared about the intimate actions between the two. Because he was really satisfied with Lin Feng, the future son-in-law. Okay, you two don't get sick of each other, we'll set off now. Dugu Bo stroked his beard and said. The central area of the Sunset Forest, the land of lava. Lin Feng and his companions came here under the guidance of the Dragon Seeker. The land of lava, a desolate land dominated by blazing flames and boiling magma. The sky here seemed to be covered by thick volcanic ash, shrouded in a dark and depressing atmosphere. Wow, I didn't expect there would be such a place in Sunset Forest, Dugu Yan couldn't help but exclaimed. Lin Feng was also shocked by the scene in front of him. Do you know why this forest is called Sunset Forest? Because this place looks like the place where the sun falls, that's why it's called Sunset Forest, and this place grows an extremely rare flame beast, which is very suitable for Fenger, Dugu Bo explained to the two with a smile. This place is full of lava, but there are no soul beasts, Dugu Yan asked puzzled. Because this flame beast is under this lava, Lin Feng looked at the frequency and direction of the vibration of the Dragon Seeker in his hand and said affirmatively. That's right, it is said that this fire beast grows under the lava, but no one has ever seen what it really looks like. Dugu Bo looked at Lin Feng and nodded. Yes, I have seen this fire beast in the records of ancient books. The book says that in ancient times, there was a fire beast that looked like a unicorn, had a single horn, and had an inextinguishable fire in its body. After it died, it left behind a fire crystal, which remained hot for 100 years. The general meaning of the record is that the fire in the body of this fire beast is never extinguished. Even if it died, the fire crystal on its forehead can still generate heat for hundreds of years. If it is what the book says, this fire crystal is an extremely rare and good thing. Lin Feng continued to speak after Dugu Bo's words. Dugu Yan, who was standing aside, listened carefully and looked at Lin Feng with admiration. Xia Feng, didn't your martial soul evolve into the ultimate fire? Then you, Dugu Bo then said to Lin Feng with concern. Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon, activate martial spirit, first soul skill, fire dragon, entangle. Before Dugu Bo finished speaking, Lin Feng summoned his martial spirit and used the first soul skill. His whole body was wrapped in the extreme flames of Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon, and he jumped straight into the lava. Chapter 37, Single Kill, No Dirt on the Corners. Lin Feng, Dugu Yan on the shore looked worried and called anxiously. Fenger is too reckless. He went down before I could finish my words. Yaner, don't worry either, Fenger has this ultimate fire. This level of lava can't hurt him, it depends on how he deals with the Yan beast. Although Dugu Bo was angry at Lin Feng's behavior, he still patiently comforted him. Under the lava, Lin Feng quickly dived dozens of meters. Lin Feng stopped to observe the magma trend around him and found that there were as many as 7 or 8 fire veins. Looking for dragons and dividing gold, look at the mountains. Then, he took out the dragon hunting ruler and silently recited the formula, and searched along the nearest fire vein. After about a quarter of an hour, sure enough, he saw a Yan beast living in a magma cave. This 10,000-year-old Yan beast was dozens of meters long, and its body was covered with giant black scales. The black scales were entangled with complex golden patterns, and the edges of the scales looked extremely sharp. As recorded in ancient books, it looks like an ancient mythical beast called Kilin that crawls on all fours. It not only has a pair of huge black wings, but also a golden horn on its head. System, check the entries. Soul Beast, Yan Beast, age 11,000 years, entries, hard as iron, white, 10,000 years soul bone, green. This soul beast actually has soul bones. Lin Feng couldn't help but be surprised. It had been 6 years since the last time he hunted a soul beast and got a soul bone. He didn't expect to meet it again today. The Yan beast seemed to have sensed the breath of an alien and made a sharp explosion. Roar! The Yan beast slowly got up and noticed Lin Feng nearby. It quickly flashed its wings, used the golden horns on its head, and rushed straight towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng had no time to dodge. Second soul skill, True Dragon Scale. A layer of golden dragon scales instantly wrapped itself, and with the extreme fire, it was like an indestructible armor. Lin Feng quickly raised his hands to form a dragon scale shield in front of him. The golden horns hit the dragon scale shield. But the power of the 10,000-year soul beast is not groundless. Bang! The dragon scale shield that could not resist for a few seconds shattered, and Lin Feng was also knocked several meters away. How can the power of this flame beast be so strong? Lin Feng wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and couldn't help but sigh. Dugu Laodeng on the shore can't get down, now I can only rely on myself. I haven't encountered such a strong enemy since I awakened my martial soul. It's a good time to go all out and see how strong I am. Lin Feng frowned and condensed all his soul power in his hands. Third soul skill, Emperor Fire Fury. I saw that the fire power contained in the surrounding magma slowly condensed like a vortex under the operation of Lin Feng's soul power. A 9-headed dragon with extreme fire all over its body condensed in the magma. Roar! Feeling the fluctuations of the surrounding soul power, the flame beast roared again with a deafening sound. Suddenly, it opened its huge mouth, and a fireball began to slowly appear in its mouth. And this fireball is still growing as the flame beast's soul power is continuously injected. On the shore, Dugu Yan looked at the originally calm magma surface in front of him. Now the red magma not only began to rotate continuously, erupting blazing flames, and from time to time, huge bubbles would surge up, accompanied by a roaring sound, as if the demons under the ground were roaring. Grandpa, Lin Feng will be fine, right? Dugu Yan choked with worry. No, we have to believe him. Dugu Bo hugged Yanner tightly in his arms and said. Now, he didn't know what happened under the magma. He just guessed that Lin Feng might have to go through a fierce battle. Even if he wanted to help Lin Feng, he was afraid of hurting Lin Feng at this time. Under the magma. Emperor Fire Fury, go! Hey! Lin Feng roared almost like a roar. At the same time, the flame beast in the distance shot a shock wave towards him. The two huge energies collided, causing a series of shocks. Rocks fell from time to time, and the power was like a large-scale earthquake at the bottom of the magma. Lin Feng's veins popped up at this time, and he kept injecting soul power to maintain the virtual form of the Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon. Although he was an ultimate martial soul, the soul power of the two sides was too different. This was a huge gap that could not be made up by quality. Without the support of soul power, Lin Feng's angry flames were quickly devoured. Almost only the shock wave of the flame beast was left. As the flame beast flapped its wings quickly again, the direction of the surrounding magma flow seemed to be changed by it in an instant, and it kept rushing towards Lin Feng. At this moment, suddenly, Lin Feng's right hand began to shine with colorful light. The right arm soul bone red scale snake hand appeared on Lin Feng's arm, and a pair of dragon horns gradually appeared above the soul bone. Even the snake's shape of the soul bone turned into the shape of a dragon at this moment. Hiss! After a thunderous low roar, a red gold dragon flew out of Lin Feng's right arm soul bone and wrapped him. Accompanied by the last roar of the flame beast. Boom! The phantom of the Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon dissipated, and the flame shock wave directly engulfed Lin Feng's body. Just when the flame beast thought that the enemy had turned into ashes, the flame dissipated. The spiral red gold dragon loosened, revealing the intact Lin Feng inside. Unfortunately, I still have soul bones. Lin Feng took advantage of his illness to kill him, and immediately flew forward to find the flame beast. The flame beast was also stunned when he saw Lin Feng's figure returning again, but immediately condensed the shock wave again. Hell, I won't give you another chance this time. Right arm soul bone, true dragon hand, only to see a black true dragon appear, and the true dragon without light now looks terrifying and deep. The true dragon quickly attacked the flame beast in the magma. When it was about to release the shock wave, it hit its head with a blow. Bang! Lin Feng rushed out of the magma carrying the body of the flame beast and threw it in front of the two people on the shore. Perhaps because of exhaustion from fighting with the flame beast, Lin Feng fainted as soon as he reached the ground. Lin Feng, Dugu Yan called out again anxiously, tears streaming down her face. Grandpa, what happened to Lin Feng? Dugu Yan turned around and asked anxiously. It's okay, he must have been exhausted from the fight just now. Dugu stepped forward to check Lin Feng's body. Apart from a few broken ribs, there was nothing else wrong with him, even his clothes were in good condition. So he was relieved and said. This Lin Feng, who had just reached the level of soul sect, actually hunted down a 10,000-year soul beast alone. Did he know how to run away when he couldn't win? Yaner, I'll heal Xiao Feng's wounds. Then, Dugu sat cross-legged and began to transfer soul power to Lin Feng. After Lin Feng's internal breath stabilized, he began to fix his bones and heal his wounds. After about half a day, Lin Feng finally woke up from his coma. Chapter 38 New entry position, purple entry at the beginning. Yaner, Grandpa Dugu. Lin Feng slowly opened his eyes and said weakly. Lin Feng, you scared me to death, how could you jump down by yourself without saying a word? Dugu Yan's eyes were moist, and she rushed forward and hugged Lin Feng tightly. Oh, Yaner, it's okay now. Lin Feng was a little at a loss, and hurriedly stroked Dugu Yan to coax her. Humph. It's okay this time, what about next time, Fenger? When you encounter something you are not sure of, the first thing to do is to run away. Do I need to teach you this principle? If something really happens to you this time, what will you let Yaner do? How do you want me to explain to your parents? Dugu on the side stared at him and said unhappily. Okay, Grandpa, I know. Next time I encounter something like this, I will run away as soon as possible. Lin Feng bowed his head and smiled apologetically, answering weakly. Although Lin Feng's injuries have healed at this time, his physical condition is still too poor. That's more or less. You must remember it in the future. Dugu Yan wiped the tears from her eyes, forced a smile, and choked up while speaking. Lin Feng looked at the corpse of the flame beast beside him. He was not in a hurry to absorb the black soul ring floating on it. Instead, he took out some herbs and pills from the soul guide he carried with him and took them. He began to hold his breath and concentrate to restore his physical condition. About half a quarter of an hour passed. When Lin Feng woke up again, his body was no different from normal. Lin Feng looked at the soul ring again. He knew clearly that he had to absorb the soul ring like Dugu Yan. When absorbing the soul ring of a 10,000-year soul beast, the soul beast will definitely suffer a mental shock. The power is related to the character of the soul beast. For example, the soul ring absorbed by Dugu Yan belongs to a relatively gentle soul beast, and the mental shock is not great. In addition to her previous affliction of poisonous body, and the fairy grass she took to improve her physical fitness and mental strength, the absorption of the soul ring was so smooth. The flame beast in front of him was different from the former. It was definitely a kind of existence that was bloodthirsty by nature, and the mental shock was extremely violent and powerful. Relatively speaking, its spirit ring can bring him a huge improvement in strength. But it is also much more dangerous in the process of absorption. Once it cannot bear, it may cause a fatal backlash. At this time, Lin Feng did not care about whether it was dangerous or not. Now he has also taken the immortal grass. Although it is not a special immortal grass for physical enhancement, it has also improved a lot of physical fitness. In the past 6 years, he has also changed the terms to improve physical fitness and mental strength. Besides, luck, he is the son of luck. This Yan beast was found with the help of the dragon-seeking ruler. The so-called destiny cannot be violated. This Yan beast is his fourth spirit ring. Lin Feng sat cross-legged beside the body of the spirit beast. At this time, a rich black halo shone on the body of the Yan beast. It was the best time to absorb the spirit ring. Looking at it, Lin Feng's nerves began to tense. Raising his hands, Lin Feng released the ultimate fire to cover his whole body and called to the spirit ring of the Yan beast. The dark light seemed to have finally found an outlet after waiting for a long time. As soon as it touched Lin Feng's martial spirit, it immediately rushed over like a pouring. Seeing the dark light completely covering Lin Feng's body, Dugu on the side was also surprised that there was such a strong soul power fluctuation. This is an elite soul beast. The 10,000-year soul ring of this flame beast is more difficult to absorb than the ordinary 10,000-year soul ring. Lin Feng, who was enveloped, felt it more clearly at this time. He only felt a strong heat flow rushing into his body. Before he could react, this heat flow released a magma-like fluid in his body and began to burn his body. Although the energy contained in the soul ring has no consciousness, the flame beast's innate violent characteristics are something that Lin Feng cannot stop. Under the strong mental shock, Lin Feng only felt that his body was about to be torn apart, and his brows were twisted into a ball with pain. Dugu Yan looked at Lin Feng's appearance and subconsciously began to worry. He had also absorbed the 10,000-year soul ring before, but it didn't happen like this. Can Lin Feng survive in his current state? The energy contained in the soul ring of this flame beast is fighting with the original soul power in Lin Feng's body. Now it depends on Lin Feng's own willpower. Yaner, we have to believe in Lin Feng, Dugu Bo said in a deep voice. He knew that the more difficult it was to absorb the soul ring, the stronger the effect would be. At this time, the grandfather and grandson held their breath and watched the changes in Lin Feng's body. The originally yellow flame now revealed a hint of red. Dugu Bo knew that Lin Feng was about to succeed. Suddenly, Lin Feng's body emitted violent fluctuations again, and beads of sweat kept appearing on his forehead. The energy contained in the black soul power also gradually evaporated into the air with the sweat on it. At this time, with a bang, the black energy around Lin Feng completely disappeared, and a solid black soul ring formed under him. His tightly furrowed brows gradually relaxed, and he pursed his cracked lips. Ling. Congratulations to the host for breaking through the soul sect and unlocking the new entry, Charm God, Ling. The host entry has been reset to refresh, Charm God, Purple. You gain slight favorability from all gods, and any god test automatically gains 10% affinity. Huh? I thought it was a succubus, but it turned out to be a charm god. Lin Feng heard the voice in his ear and confirmed the lower panel again. It was a false alarm. It can only be effective on gods. Is this the explanation of this entry? Then doesn't the succubus only work on demons? But it was a purple entry, which was good luck. It's not the white one before. Just when he was about to refresh the entry. Lin Feng, drink water. Dugu Yan saw Lin Feng open his eyes, looked at his cracked lips, and hurried forward to hand him the water and called him. Ah, Yaner, Gudong. After drinking a liter of water, Lin Feng's lips gradually showed blood color again. Then let's refresh the entry later. After Lin Feng finished drinking the water, he stood up suddenly. At this time, he officially successfully entered the ranks of Soul Sect Grandpa. Yaner, I also successfully absorbed the 10,000-year soul ring, and now my soul power has reached level 48. Lin Feng looked at the two with a smile. Lin Feng was not surprised that the soul power increased to level 48 this time. After all, what he absorbed this time was the flame beast recorded in ancient books. Not bad. After absorbing the fairy grass soul ring, your soul power and Yaner's soul power have increased a lot. Dugu Bo brushed away his previous worries, gradually smiled, and nodded with satisfaction. Congratulations, Lin Feng. Dugu Yan lowered her head, with a happy and unhappy expression on her face. She just felt that the gap between her and Lin Feng was getting farther and farther. When they were both soul venerables, their soul power was only a few levels apart, but now that they have become soul sects, they have opened up a gap of 7 levels. And the gap of the soul sect's 7 levels is at least equivalent to the gap of their 10 levels of soul power when they were soul venerables. Thanks to Fingai Unshu Wode, book, missing, 7452, sadness, I can still eat 2 spoons when I'm full, happy every day, Mangayan, and Ziozi for sending their monthly tickets. Please keep reading, thank you. Chapter 39, The Son of Luck, Chance. Yaner, don't be discouraged. We will make progress together in the future. Lin Feng seemed to understand Yaner's expression and hurried forward to comfort her. Yeah, okay, thank you, Lin Feng. Dugu Yan nodded and smiled. That's right. Lin Feng stepped forward and touched Dugu Yan's head. Suddenly, Lin Feng seemed to remember something. He gathered his soul power in his hand and went straight to the body of the flame beast. He first took off the flame crystal on the flame beast's forehead and put it in his belt. Then he directly opened a hole in the flame beast's head. When he absorbed the soul ring before, he had already absorbed the soul bone given by the system. Now it's time to open the flame beast's soul bone. A red light flashed. Lin Feng used his soul power to suspend the excavated soul bone in his hand. 10,000-year soul bone, flame beast skull. Soul bone. Dugu was the first to react, with a look of shock on his face. Lin Feng, how lucky are you? Grandpa only got one soul bone in his lifetime, and now you have two. That's amazing. Dugu Yan couldn't help but step forward to congratulate. Humph, it's just a soul bone with a lifespan of 10,000 years. My soul bone is 50,000 years old. Dugu was obviously jealous of Lin Feng's two soul bones, and looked arrogant. Dugu was about to show Lin Feng his soul bone skills. Seeing this, Dugu Yan hurried forward to stop him. Grandpa, how old are you? You are still jealous of us kids. Dugu Yan curled her lips and said with some dissatisfaction. No way? Nonsense. Dugu put his hands behind his back and looked up at the sky to hide his embarrassment. In fact, he was very depressed. What right does this kid have? Yanner doesn't even love me as a grandfather. If others see this, they will think I am the accident and Lin Feng is a relative. Lin Feng, you should absorb this soul bone quickly. Dugu Yan ignored Dugu who was sulking beside him and walked up to Lin Feng and said. Okay. Lin Feng nodded and agreed. A soul bone of 10,000 years is not bad. With the system, there will be plenty of opportunities to increase the age of soul bones in the future. Half a quarter of an hour later, Lin Feng successfully absorbed the head soul bone of the flame beast. Lin Feng, show me your soul bone skills. Dugu Yan jumped forward and asked. But my soul skill needs a target. It's okay, just use it on Grandpa. Yanner, you? Dugu Yan started to urge Lin Feng again without waiting for Dugu to stop her. He had no choice but to satisfy her curiosity. Okay. Old Bang, be careful. Soul bone skill. Spirit flame. Then Lin Feng activated the skull of the flame beast, and his mental power immediately turned into an invisible spiritual flame, burning in Dugubo's mind. Hiss, what's that move, kid? Dugu felt a sharp pain in his head and couldn't help but cover his head, as if his mental power was burned by the flame. But how is this possible? This is the invisible mental power, how can it be burned by the flame in reality? Lao Dang, are you okay? My soul bone skill is to transform mental power into flames, which can burn other people's spirits. Lin Feng smiled and retracted the flames and said. Humph, it's still far from it. Dugu rubbed his head and looked at him unconvinced. In fact, he didn't receive much damage. With a 50,000-year-old head soul bone, Dugubo's mental power is not weak among the Titled Douluo. And the flame just now only burned him painfully. As for the injury, it's not even a flesh wound. But Dugu Yan didn't know this. She only saw that her man defeated her grandfather in an instant. Wow, so powerful. Lin Feng, Dugu Yan clapped excitedly. Just when Dugu couldn't help but speak of jealousy again. Suddenly, the ground beneath the feet of the few people trembled, and the ground cracked. The calm magma began to churn again. What happened? Dugu Yan asked in panic. Lin Feng looked around in surprise and held her hand tightly. This is a sign that a new flame beast king has been born. The flame beasts will devour each other and give birth to a new king. The flame crystal on the forehead of the flame beast is a treasure for fire attribute soul masters, and once the flame beast king is born, the flame crystal will be shattered to improve its own cultivation. It is said that a famous Titled Douluo once guarded here for 20 years and wanted to get a piece of flame crystal but didn't get it. Lin Feng, I didn't expect you to run into it today. Dugu faced the collapsed rocks and hurriedly protected the two of them and explained. Ho old Bang, I am the son of destiny. These are all basic operations. Lin Feng's eyebrows jumped and he said calmly. At this time, Lin Feng's body had fully recovered and his speech was sonorous and powerful. Seeing his state, Dugu was relieved. Don't talk nonsense. I'll take you away first. It will take some time for the Flame Beast King to stabilize its cultivation when it is born. By then, the information about the abnormal changes in the lava zone will surely spread throughout the continent. We still need to make long-term plans. Dugu leaped into the air and led the two away from this place to the central area of the nearby lava zone where the Flame Beast King appeared. At the same time, several figures in the forest noticed the abnormal situation in the lava zone and hurried over here. Spirit Hall. Yan was sitting cross-legged in the room alone, refining his soul power. Bang! With a sound, Yan slowly opened his eyes, and his soul power officially broke through the soul sect. Yan, since your soul power has broken through, let's go to the Sunset Forest to get the soul ring in the next 2 days. The teacher of the Spirit Hall stepped forward and said. Teacher, Nana's birthday is coming up in the next 2 days. Let's go after her birthday." Yan stood up and refused. "Okay, then you can come to me anytime." The teacher nodded and turned away. "I hope Nana likes it." Yan looked at the gift prepared for Hulina, his face filled with happiness. He imagined Hulina jumping for joy when she received his gift. The next day. Blazing Academy. "Dean, someone just reported, there is an unusual movement in the lava zone of Sunset Forest. It may be that the Flame Beast King has been born." An attendant came to Hulong and bent down to report the intelligence he had just received. "What? Ha. Recently, major forces have begun to surge, and the continent has begun to be uneasy. Now that the Flame Beast King has appeared, major forces will surely flock to it. We at Blazing Academy cannot let it go easily. Go, gather our academy elders in elite teams. Let's go." Set off for Sunset Forest, Hulong slapped the table beside him, stood up straight, and spoke confidently. Xiandao City. After learning that the Flame Beast King had appeared, Lin Yi, the head of the Lin family, immediately sent his men and horses to the Sunset Forest at full speed. "Thanks to Xiao Zi for the reward. I'll send you another one during the day because I was busy last night." Chapter 40 New entry, Marginal People, 1 chapter less yesterday, 4 chapters updated today. At this time, Liu Erlong walked out of the forbidden area of the academy, and 7 soul rings emerged from her side one by one. The girl who was originally graceful and elegant has now become a sexy and attractive queen. This time, she came out of seclusion only to fight for the Yanjing. If she can break through the Titled Douluo, she will no longer have to care about the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, and she can be with Xia Gang openly. "Xia Gang, wait for me." Liu Erlong's eyes were firm. She wanted the Yanjing of this Yan Beast King. Sunset Forest. Qin Ming and his party also noticed the movement of the lava zone. Yu Xianheng successfully broke through the Soul Venerable after obtaining the Soul Ring. "Humph! Lin Feng, sooner or later, I will surpass you," Yu Xianheng said with contempt and disdain. The sky cleared up, the rain stopped, and Xianheng felt that it was okay again. "Teacher Yan, why don't you teachers go and escort Xianheng back to the academy first? I'll go to the lava zone by myself first." Qin Ming was afraid that Yu Xianheng would not be safe alone, and said with a worried face. "How can that be possible, Teacher Qin? The Flame Beast King has been restless for quite some time, and many people must know about it. You are going alone. What if you encounter other forces? I can send Xianheng back by myself, and let the other teachers stay with you. Wait for me to report to the dean, and I will bring the elders to support you," Yan Queer said with a worried look, not allowing rejection. "I don't agree. No way. Let these rubbish send me back. If something happens to me, can you bear the responsibility?" Yu Xianheng was obviously dissatisfied with Yan Queer's arrangement. Yan Queer glared. If Qin Ming hadn't been here, at least he would have taught him a lesson. "Xianheng, how can you talk like that? Respect the teacher. This time you got the spirit ring with the help of the teachers here." Qin Ming was really angry and began to educate Yu Xianheng. "Yes, I'm sorry, teacher," Yu Xianheng apologized indifferently. "It's obvious that they just broke through to Soul King at such an old age. Aren't they just trash?" "Don't let people say it," he muttered in a low voice. But how could Qin Ming not hear his words? He was more and more disappointed in him. "Hey, I'd better go by myself first. Xianheng, please take him back first." Qin Ming sighed and bowed to the other teachers to apologize. "Okay, Teacher Qin, you should be careful. When we return to the academy, we will bring people back to support you immediately." Yan Queer suppressed her anger and nodded to Qin Ming, still caring about Qin Ming. Afterwards, Yan Queer knocked Yu Xianheng unconscious with a punch and rushed to the academy as fast as possible, followed by other teachers. On the other side, in the center of the lava, Lin Feng, the Flame Beast King, is deep under the magma. "You can't go down to this depth now. The Flame Beast King will come out in a few days, so there's no need to go down to look for it. But by then, all the major forces will be here," Dugu sighed and said to Lin Feng. Although Lin Feng has already obtained a piece of flame crystal, this time the Flame Beast King appears, it will devour more flame crystals from many flame beasts. There will be flame crystals with higher age. The value of this flame crystal doubles with every 1,000 years of the soul beast's age. Lin Feng nodded, with a slight smile on his face. Would that mean he could see many people's entries by then? I wonder if there are any good entries for him to copy. There's no reason to stand there stupidly and wait for others to come and compete with him for the remaining flame crystals. Arriving early is his advantage. Would that mean he has no chance of winning? The Flame Beast King hasn't come out for decades. Now that he has just arrived at the Sunset Forest, the Flame Beast King was born. Let the readers judge, this is definitely his chance. How can I give it to others? It just so happens that he still has a chance to refresh the entries. System, refresh all entries, Lin Feng thought. Please refresh him an entry that can be used now. Ling. All entries have been refreshed. Lin Feng quickly checked the contents of the refreshed entries. Only 2 entries made his eyes light up. Fire immunity, purple, you are immune to fire attribute attacks and can survive freely in flames. Marginal man, purple, you will be difficult to be noticed by others. This fire immunity is just right for me at the moment. Surviving in flames means that I can dive deeper. However, the Flame Beast King is not only capable of fire attacks, but also has tremendous power. In order to prevent being attacked, choose Marginal Man to dilute his presence and let others ignore him inadvertently. It is also much easier to fish in troubled waters. Isn't this tailor-made for me at the moment? Although I haven't triggered the upgrade entry for a long time, my luck is getting better and better with the blessing of the golden entry Son of Luck. Lin Feng decisively selected these 2 entries. System, check the panel. Host, Lin Feng, age 12, innate soul power 20, martial soul, Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon, top level, soul power, level 48, entries, Emperor Flame 9-headed dragon, purple, fire immunity, purple, marginal man, purple, soul ring bones, purple, seeking dragons and dividing gold, purple, permanent hidden entries, innate level 20, gold, entries copy, gold, Son of Luck, gold. Lin Feng nodded. He was still very satisfied with the current panel and entries. With fire immunity and marginal man, the chances of winning in the battle for Yanjing will be even greater. The purple entry of Charm God was refreshed just after it was obtained. It was also pitiful. It was the purple entry that he had mastered for the shortest time. Lin Feng, Grandpa, have you seen Lin Feng? Dugu Yan suddenly couldn't find Lin Feng's figure and began to call anxiously. Yaner, I'm here, Lin Feng behind Dugu Yan said helplessly. Is the effect of this marginal person so strong? He was clearly not far behind Dugu Yan, but she didn't even notice it. When did you run over there? Grandpa just went to find some fruit somewhere else. Let's eat some together. Dugu Yan happily went over and took his hand. At this time, Dugu Bo on the side was also confused. Why did Lin Feng's breath suddenly disappear and reappear just now? But Dugu Bo didn't care too much, maybe because of his old age. Fenger, Yaner, come and eat something quickly. I guess you two have been starving these 2 days. Dugu Bo looked at the 2 of them with kindness. After a while, after eating the fruit, Lin Feng took Dugu Yan's hand and paced back and forth, checking the terrain in the center of the lava, thinking about making preparations in advance. Thanks to the Otaku, Xiaoer, and 7,377 for sending the monthly tickets. Please read and read, this is very important. Chapter 41, Spirit Hall, Chrysanthemum Ghost Douluo leads the team. Lin Feng, why are you gone again? Dugu Yan called out in panic again. But at this time, Dugu Yan was still holding Lin Feng's hand. Dugu Yan hurriedly took a step forward, and stumbled without steadying her body. Lin Feng hurried forward and held her in his arms. Why are you so careless? Am I not always by your side? Lin Feng smiled, but still concerned. Lin Feng, did you use any secret method? Why do Yaner and I ignore your existence when you don't take the initiative to talk? Dugu Bo no longer doubted his inexplicable feeling just now, and began to ask Lin Feng directly. Haha, you discovered Lao Deng. This is a soul skill I created. The effect is to prevent it from being sensed by other people, but it is currently in the experimental stage. Lin Feng smiled and lied again seriously. This marginal person actually has such a strong effect on Dugu Bo, so that's how it is. Dugu Bo nodded. Now he would not feel strange about anything that happened to his grandson-in-law. After all, Yaner's martial soul evolved before, including the dragon-seeking ruler, the removal of toxins from the body, etc. He had long been accustomed to Lin Feng bringing him unexpected surprises. This is why he was indifferent to the 10,000 years flame crystal in front of him. If his investment was correct, and Lin Feng really became his future grandson-in-law, then with his talent and future strength, he could rest assured and live a free life in the second half of his life. You are so good, Lin Feng. You created such a strange soul skill without telling me. You made it difficult for me to find it just now. Dugu Yan's words were a little shy, and she punched Lin Feng's chest lightly one by one. Okay, Yaner, I was wrong. Is it okay? Lin Feng held Dugu Yan's wrist tightly with one hand, and said gently. Grandpa, I want to go down and see the Flame Beast King first. After Lin Feng calmed Yaner's mood, he turned around and suddenly said to Dugu Bo with a serious face. What are you doing? Xia Feng, this Flame Beast King is at least hundreds of meters above the ground. Can your body withstand it? Dugu Bo quickly rebuked Lin Feng for his unrealistic idea. Little did he know that Lin Feng now had the entry of fire immunity and could survive in the magma like the Flame Beast. Grandpa, don't worry. After I absorb the spirit ring of the Flame Beast, I can dive 100 meters, Lin Feng said decisively, looking at Dugu Bo with a firm gaze. Okay, if anything happens, come up quickly, then I will inject another soul power into your body. If there is any danger, activate it in time. When I get the information, I will go down to save you. Dugu Bo was half believing and half doubting. But in the end, he was still worried about Lin Feng, so he thought of a compromise. After all, he can always bring surprises to himself. With a plop, Lin Feng released the ultimate fire to wrap himself up and jumped into the magma, leaving the two on the shore waiting anxiously. Look for the dragon and divide the gold to see the mountain. Lin Feng took out the dragon hunting ruler again. He dived down according to the vibration frequency and the direction of the dowsing rod. When he dived 40 or 50 meters, a drop of gold water dripped from the dowsing rod onto his hand. The dowsing rod actually began to show signs of melting. After taking another look at the direction of the guide, Lin Feng hurriedly took back the dowsing rod. Although the dowsing rod was given by the system, it was originally an ordinary material. It was normal for it to melt in such a high concentration of magma. After putting away the dowsing rod, Lin Feng continued to dive in the direction just now. When he was close to 1,000 meters, Lin Feng finally found traces of the Flame Beast King. Roar. So this is the Flame Beast King, sleeping? It seems that he is still consolidating his cultivation. Lin Feng looked at the behemoth in front of him and analyzed calmly. Compared with the Flame Beast he defeated before, this Flame Beast King is more than 4 or 5 times larger. He was sleeping on the lava. After the Flame Beast King killed the rest of his companions and obtained their abilities, there were dozens of red flame crystals embedded on his back. So this is why the Flame Beast King is so rare. The number of the Flame Beast tribe is small to begin with, not to mention that the birth of a Flame Beast King requires the sacrifice of dozens of Flame Beasts that have practiced for thousands or even tens of thousands of years. So Lin Feng once again went around the terrain where the Flame Beast King was and took a closer look. The Flame Beast King has not yet evolved completely. When the dozens of red flame crystals on his back are all fused together, he will be considered a true Flame Beast King. All he can do is wait. In the banquet hall of the Spirit Hall. It was Hulina's birthday, and the banquet was bustling with people coming and going. It can be seen that the Spirit Hall attaches great importance to this saint. Nana, this is a gift I prepared for you, the beauty essence extracted from the 10,000-year soul beast. I hope you like it. Yan's eyes were affectionate, and his words were extremely gentle. Looking at Hulina in front of him, her long hair was draped over her waist, her face was delicate, her skin was delicate and fair, like condensed white jade. Her tall and slender figure made her look flawless. Yan seemed to feel that she could make him infatuated at any time. Just as he was waiting for the goddess to reply, squeak, the door of the banquet suddenly opened. Douluo walked towards Yan quickly with a cat step. Hey, isn't this our Yan? Haven't you caught up with Nana yet? Douluo looked at the young man in front of him teasingly. What's the matter, Elder Ju? I'm giving Nana a gift. Yan was very unhappy that Douluo suddenly broke in and ruined the atmosphere. His Highness the Pope has ordered me to take you to carry out the mission immediately. As he said that, Yu Guan picked up Yan with one hand and was about to walk out. What happened? So anxious? Hulina asked curiously. The so-called beauty essence just now did not make her curious, but Douluo's sudden move made her full of curiosity. There have been unusual movements in the lava area of the Sunset Forest recently. The secret agent reported that a fire-attributed secret treasure Yanjing appeared in the world. His Majesty the Pope ordered me to take him there. Yu Guan saw that it was the saint asking questions, so he stopped and answered. Secret treasure, Yan, who is hanging on Yu Guan's waist, asked curiously. Senior Douluo, I'll go too, Hulina said after hearing that. Seizing secret treasures is a rare opportunity for actual combat. Okay, Yuguan hesitated for a few seconds before agreeing. The little guys were the ones that the spirit hall focused on training, and this time he and Gui Mei were leading the team. It was just a good opportunity for them to practice combat. Senior, I'll go too, thank you, Elder, for taking care of us. The few people went out one after another, and Ziyu behind them hurriedly ran up and bowed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42 Lin Yu praises his daughter-in-law. You don't know how much Xiao Feng likes you. Outside the door. Yuguan, why are there so many little ghosts? Gimei asked Yuguan, who was walking at the end, in confusion. The saint has spoken, they want to go, can they be stopped? Hearing this, Gimei said nothing more and followed directly. In the center of the lava zone. A wild soul master Mo Fan came here first when he sensed something unusual. In the distance, he found Dugu and Dugu Yan. As for Lin Feng who came up from the magma underground, he was standing next to him, but he ignored him. Are you also soul masters who came here because you sensed something unusual? Mo Fan asked Dugu in front of him vigilantly. Dugu looked at this person wearing a black Taoist robe, his whole body was covered, and he was too lazy to pay attention and turned his head away. Don't you have eyes to see for yourself? Dugu Yan didn't like people who came here very much. After all, there was only one purpose for coming here, to snatch Yanjing from them. Which little girl speaks so aggressively? Mo Fan was suddenly a little angry, and the 5 soul rings under his feet lit up. A mere soul king, what's so great about that? Dugu Yan glanced at Mo Fan in front of him with disdain. At this moment, several teams of people came from not far away. For a moment, everyone present looked at each other. Mo Fan looked around and simply turned around and left, letting go of the idea of teaching her a lesson for the time being. The first bird to stick its head out gets shot. He didn't want to be the one to be focused on. Had he when everyone starts fighting, I will take action, then I can fish in troubled waters, right? Mo Fan, you are really a genius. Mo Fan then hid behind a rock and squatted. At this time, Lin Feng glanced over. Except for a soul master with innate soul power level 7, the rest of the talents are not very good, either soul king or soul sect. I guess they heard about the lava zone and came here to try their luck. He used the word exploration to look at everyone and analyzed seriously. Several teams of people were separated by a long distance and no one took the initiative to pay attention to each other. After a while, Lin Yi, the head of the Lin family, greet Senior Dugu. Lin Yi arrived, looked at Dugu and hurriedly went up to him to greet him. Ho ha, isn't this Fenger's father? We are all family, so don't be so polite. You have raised a good child, Lin Feng. Dugu looked at Lin Yi and said with a happy smile. Well? Thank you, Senior Dugu. My son has troubled you. Lin Yi stood up slowly with surprise in his heart. When did this Lin Feng get the recognition of Poison Douluo? Dugu had been glaring at him several times before. But now it's a good thing. With the help of Poison Douluo, their chances of winning the Yan crystal this time have increased by a few %. Lin Yi put on a smile on his face and looked at Dugu Yan. Yaner, long time no see. My little Feng often mentions you and says he likes you very much. Really, Uncle Lin? Did Lin Feng really say he likes me very much at home? Dugu Yan was very happy after hearing what Lin Yi said. It's true, Yaner. My Fenger also told me to look for time to ask your grandfather for a baby marriage. Lin Yi looked kind, smiled and nodded affirmatively. Ha, this brat, he thought it through. Dugu heard the words and laughed at the clever boy Lin Feng behind him. Ha, Senior. I have to praise Fenger in front of you. Fenger has been smart, well-behaved and sensible since he was a child. He could run at the age of 1, climb trees at the age of 3, and read the books in the family at the age of 5. But at home, he never came into contact with other girls. Who would have thought that he would fall in love with Yaner at first sight after meeting her at the age of 6? Every time he came home, he told me that he would marry Yaner in this life. Ha, this child is still so young. Where did he learn all this? Lin Yi looked at Dugu and laughed, and talked endlessly about Lin Feng's childhood. I'm speechless. Lin Feng rolled his eyes and muttered softly. Where did you come up with these words? Is this still me? I feel embarrassed when I hear them. When did I give you a back massage? You're not at home all year round. And you insist on marrying Yaner, is that slander? It's pure slander. I never said that. Ahem, father, Lin Feng coughed twice quickly, blinking his bright eyes to show his presence. He was afraid that if he didn't speak again, Lin Yu might reveal the incident of him wetting his pants when he was a child. Feng? Fenger, why are you here? Ha, ha, ha ha. Lin Yu smiled awkwardly, with a little curiosity in his eyes, still confirming whether this was Lin Feng. When did this son come? Oh, father, don't look, it's me, I've always been here. Lin Feng looked at Lin Yu with a speechless look. Haha, you? Have you eaten? Lin Yu put away his awkward smile and started to talk. Lin Feng, I didn't expect you to love me so much. Dugu Yan, who was standing by, didn't care what happened between the two. She rushed to Lin Feng and gave him a few pecks. Okay, little brats, let's get down to business. Lin Yu suddenly became serious. Senior Dugu, I didn't expect that the Flame Beast King, who hasn't appeared in decades, would appear now. I saw people from the royal family when I just came here. It will probably be difficult to fight for the flame crystal this time. The general of the Barrow Kingdom is also a fire soul Douluo, and there is also the fire dragon of the Blazing Academy. The Xingluo Empire probably won't send anyone, but I'm afraid that the Spirit Hall will intervene in this matter. Lin Yu sighed repeatedly and said to Dugubo with a worried face. Yet, Dugubo just nodded, turned to a thoughtful look, and didn't continue talking. He knew that what Lin Yu said was true, and he was not very sure about the battle for the flame crystal this time. At this time, a few laughs suddenly came from the distance. Ha ha ha, who was I thinking who got here before me? So it was Senior Dugu and Brother Lin. Ha ha ha, the fire dragon laughed boldly. The pressure of the 8-ring soul Douluo on his body was released in an instant. It seemed to warn the other teams not to participate again, otherwise they would die. The others were instantly suppressed by this deterrence, and suddenly shuddered in their hearts. Soul Douluo, brothers, let's retreat. Whoever wants this thing can take it. A mercenary leader spoke first and hurriedly evacuated with the rest of the people. Huh? Didn't I say you? Don't be so clever in front of me. The fire dragon's eyes instantly found Mo Fan, who was trying to hide behind the stone, and released a mental shock. Chapter 43 Old Chrysanthemum. The offense and defense have changed. Ho ha ho ha. After feeling this mental shock, Mo Fan instantly wanted to retreat. It seems that I can't pick up the bargain. Damn, the mental shock this time is not very big, but next time I can't say whether I will live or not. Forget it. Saving my life is the most important thing. Mo Fan tiptoed to leave, but turned around and bumped into a hard chest. Are you blind? How dare you bump into me? Do you want to suffer? The strong voice, very fierce. Mo Fan looked carefully and couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Several people had red hair and wore uniform clothes with the words of the Fire Leopard sect printed on them. The leader of the Fire Leopard sect, Ho Yanbao, was scolding them repeatedly. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the road, and it was a problem for me to find you. I'll leave now. Mo Fan hurriedly bowed and apologized. I didn't expect that the Fire Leopard sect would also come. Huh? There are Soul Douluo on both sides. They won't fight at that time. Then won't I be able to pick up the bargain again? Looking carefully again, there are 6 purple entries among the few people. In addition to the 4 with outstanding talents, there are 2 more. Anti-sect Douluo, purple. You will embark on the road of becoming stronger after the destruction of your sect, and eventually become a titled Douluo. This can't help but remind Lin Feng of his previous entry. 100-year Douluo, pure yin body, purple. You will obtain the pure yin body of a female soul master, and the person who has intercourse with you can greatly increase his cultivation speed. Lin Feng nodded. This entry is good. It's a pity that Dugu Yan has never been able to refresh this physique. At this moment, Ho Long heard the sound in the distance and looked back, and was also shocked. Did the Fire Leopard sect take out all its assets? And Lin Yi's face was still calm with Dugubo sitting in the seat, without much fluctuation. At this moment, 2 figures appeared in the sky. Ha ha ha, there are so many people. Old Ghost, Yu Guan was wearing a red dress, and there was an evil charm in her charming face. Lin Feng looked at the people below and smiled contemptuously. Gui Mei, dressed in black, looked at Yu Guan, and only responded to his eyes faintly, and then remained silent. Hulina and the other 2 looked down curiously. It's the Spirit Hall. 2 titled Douluo were sent this time. Lin Yu looked at the sky shock. The others also felt the pressure. looked at each other and dared not speak. Only Lin Feng, who was far away, looked up at the sky quietly. 1, 2, wow, there are quite a lot of purple talents, all 5 of them are talented, and the lowest one is in level 8.5. Among them, Hulina's entry caught Lin Feng's attention. Pope's true love, purple, you are the reverse scale of Pope Bibidong, and anyone who hurts you will be retaliated by Bibidong. Sure enough, this Hulina is still true love. The remaining purple ones. Hulina's love for destiny, Douluo's Kirin Tongshan chrysanthemum, etc. It's a pity that there is no one I want to copy. Lin Feng shook his head and sighed. Above the sky, Yu Guan frowned, as if he had discovered something. Old poison, I didn't expect to meet you here. Today I finally have the chance to catch you. 7th soul skill, martial soul true body. The chrysanthemums are broken, the ground is full of wounds, and the fallen flowers are heartbroken. Without waiting for the crowd to react, Yu Guan immediately attacked Dugu the broken Kirin Tongshan chrysanthemum. Each petal rotated like a crescent blade, forming a huge golden tornado. Yu Guan, I have never been your opponent before, but today, I look a bit like before. 7th soul skill, martial soul true body. Dugu instantly transformed into a 30-meter-long, water-jar-thick emerald green snake that sprayed poisonous fog all over the sky to block Yu Guan's first wave of momentum. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble again. Not good, the Flame Beast King has awakened. Leave the center first. Seeing this, some soul kings quickly retreated a few miles. The awakening of the Flame Beast King and the battle between the titles, any fluctuation of soul power is not something they can easily bear. Only Lin Feng, the soul sect, did not retreat. He then released the ultimate fire and the true dragon scales around his body to resist the damage of snake venom and soul power fluctuations. To find the dragon and divide the gold, look at the mountain. Opportunities are reserved for those who are prepared. Father, Yaner, follow me. Lin Feng urgently urged the dragon-seeking ruler to confirm the location of the Flame Beast King again. At the same time, he called for his father and Dugu Yan to come to help. Hearing this, the two of them looked determined and followed Lin Feng in an instant. The dragon-seeking ruler began to shake violently, and the direction indicated was gradually moving away from the center. The location of the Flame Beast King is changing. Not good, the Flame Beast King is going to escape from underground. Lin Feng immediately realized that something was wrong and said calmly. Several people released their soul power with all their strength to keep up with the pace of the dragon-seeking ruler's tracking. Make way, make way. Lin Feng squeezed through the crowd of onlookers not far away and pushed the flame leopard away. Where did you come from, you little brat? Stop right there. Huanbao was dissatisfied and was ready to step forward to stop him. Bang, bang. 2 extremely fast figures rushed past him again. They were Lin Yi and Dugu Yan. Hey, you said he didn't mention you, right? You? Before he could finish his words. Father, Yaner is not going this way. Lin Feng paused, and instantly turned around and chased again. Bang, bang, bang. I'm really angry. Are you guys done yet? Huanbao was furious at the repeated collisions. But the next second, the figures of several people were almost invisible. Forget it, they are just passers-by, don't bother with them. Somehow, Huanbao suddenly changed his mind, and after comforting himself, he turned his eyes to the sky again. How is it possible? You are also level 94. Yu Guan in the air was shocked after noticing something unusual. Ha ha ha, old chrysanthemum, you didn't expect that. Several years ago, we had a grudge that was unsuccessful. Now that I have broken through the restraints in my body, you and I will switch from offense to defense from now on. Today I want you to see carefully, is your broken flower more powerful, or is my poison more powerful? Dugu transformed into human form again at this time, laughing heartily. Martial soul true body, Bilin Snake King poison. Dugu transformed into Bilin Snake King again. Took advantage of the terrain to fly into the air, and shot poison mist towards Yu Guan. Yu Guan paused, and quickly hid behind. Dugu chased after him. No, have you fixed the problem in your body? Yu Guan looked back coldly and asked in surprise. The old poisonous creature's soul power has been stuck at level 91 since he broke through the seal. So he had long guessed that there was something wrong with his body. If this is the case for him, then it is not impossible for his soul power, which has been suppressed for so long, to break through to level 94. Chapter 44, Douluo, defeated. Please follow me, dear readers. Chapter 44, Douluo, defeated. Please follow me, dear readers. Ha ha ha. Since I took the immortal grass, the problems in my body have long been solved. Old chrysanthemum, where are you running to? Dugu laughed loudly, and couldn't stop the smug look on his face. No wonder you improved so quickly, so it's because you took the immortal grass. You, an old poisoner, have such good luck. It's really a waste of heaven's gifts. What immortal grass? Humph, you talk too much. Die. Yuguan looked extremely shocked, but Dugu didn't seem to want to reply to him. Waves of poisonous fog surged up, and Dugu spit out poisonous water from time to time, determined to poison him to death in the sky. Yuguan heard the words and urged his soul power again, dodging the poisonous fog sprayed by Dugu behind him. And their conversation was also heard by the people below. So Senior Dugu is injured. No wonder it was rumored that poisoned Douluo was the weakest Douluo. It turns out that he is not really weak. Hush! Senior Dugu, you and I are not allowed to talk about it. Let's stop talking. So what? Who wouldn't talk about others fighting? Now that poisoned Douluo has recovered, it seems that he has the upper hand. Everyone watching the fight on the ground was shocked. No one expected that poisoned Douluo, who was called the Douluo floor tile, would have such a powerful strength and such a hidden past. Now Senior Dugu has taken off. Who is the weakest Douluo? One person suddenly thought of this question. It must be said that this question instantly aroused everyone's curiosity. Let me analyze it according to what you said. There are two Titled Douluo in the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect now. Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo are very powerful, no doubt. Yu Yuan son of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family has a top-grade martial spirit, and I'm afraid he is stronger than Bone Douluo. And in the Spirit Hall, it seems that only Chrysanthemum and Ghost Douluo often appear. Ghost Douluo seems to be a little stronger. Could it be that the weakest Douluo now will become Chrysanthemum Douluo? One of them interrupted the other's speech, his eyes dancing with joy, and he spoke with great interest. At this time, Liu Erlong, who appeared at the side at some point, nodded repeatedly after listening to the analysis of several people. But then she once again closely watched the battle in the sky, her eyes revealing yearning. In the center of the lava, on the ground, Hulina, who was elsewhere, was a little stunned after hearing the discussions around her. Ghost Elder, is Elder Chrysanthemum really the weakest Titled Douluo now? She looked confused and turned to ask the ghost behind her. After all, in her impression, Zhu and Gui had never lost in a place where they appeared together. Now they suddenly told her that Zhu Douluo was the weakest. This. Humph, Zhu Huaguan is really a waste now. After this battle, I wonder what his reputation will be like in the future. Gui Mei was very dissatisfied with Zhu Huaguan's performance today, but she had to explain it for him out of consideration. He couldn't really let him bear the title of the weakest Douluo from now on. Your Highness, anyone who can be promoted to the level of a Titled Douluo should not be underestimated. Although Du Douluo was often called the weakest Douluo before, but his strength is actually stronger than some 92-level Douluos in the Spirit Hall. And even if Yuguan can't take down the reborn Dugu, it's still easy for him to suppress some 92-level and 93-level Titled Douluos, he said with a little disdain between his eyebrows. After hearing this, Hulina suddenly realized. So that's the case, then she can rest assured. Fortunately, Zhu Douluo is not an unknown person. Otherwise, she would doubt whether she was safe if she came out with him. In the air, Yuguan lost his temper because of Dugu's pursuit. He stopped and dodged, and decided to fight him to the death. Old poisonous creature, I'll let you taste my chrysanthemum again. The chrysanthemum is withered, the ground is full of wounds, and the flowers fall and people are heartbroken. A golden wheel rushed towards Dugu again. Dugu looked calm, and a poisonous fog was launched from the abyss of the Biland Snake King's huge mouth, and he went straight to meet it. The high-speed rotation of the golden wheel gradually slowed down under the continuous impact of the poisonous fog. Yuguan's face was painful, and he gritted his teeth and struggled to support it. Bang! Finally, he was exhausted, and after a loud bang, he fell from the air after being severely hit by the poisonous fog. Gui Mei hurried forward to catch him. Below, Liu Erlong looked at this scene with horror. The petals flew over Liu Erlong's head and smashed a deep pit in front of her. Is this the strength of a Titled Douluo? It's really powerful and terrifying. If Xiaogang and I could perform martial soul fusion, we would probably have the strength of a Titled Douluo now. Liu Erlong's eyebrows were downcast, and his mood was a little low. Thinking of his former companions, they were no longer around. The others looked at the golden petals flying all over the sky after the battle and dodged in a hurry. Some soul kings and soul lords who didn't have time to dodge were splashed with blood. Some died and some were injured. The flowing blood soaked the ground under their feet. At the same time, several petals fell towards the fire leopard and the fire dragon. The two did not retreat far away, but released their soul power to withstand the impact of the petals. Although their faces were livid, they could not retreat even half a step. As soul Douluos and the masters of a sect, they have their own pride as soul Douluos. In the distance, Qin Ming, who came late, looked at the bloody scene in front of him and widened his eyes in surprise. "It's okay, fortunately, I came late and stood far away," Qin Ming sighed with a long sigh. He was excited and wanted to come here first to see if he could take advantage of the chaos to grab an opportunity. Now it seems that he was too naive. For those who don't have absolute strength, it is impossible to win this kind of opportunity. Ordinary people like me should just think about it. At this moment, suddenly, someone patted Qin Ming on the shoulder from behind. Looking back, it turned out that Yan Queer had arrived with a group of people from Xiandao Academy. Everyone was shocked when they saw the scene in the distance. "Teacher Qin, you are not injured, what's the situation over there now?" Yan Queer asked Qin Ming after calming down the emotions she had just seen. "It's okay, Teacher Yan, thank you for your concern. Now, the major forces fighting for the Yanjing have arrived in this lava zone before us. I just heard someone in the crowd say that the Yan Beast King has already awakened. But he is nowhere to be found. The battle between the two titles is no longer something we can interfere with." The two Xiandao Soul Douluo Education Committee members also looked helplessly at the Wuhan Hall and Dugu in the air. "It's good that you are not injured. Let's wait and see what happens," a education committee member named Bai Baoshan ordered. Above the sky. "Ho ha, old chrysanthemum, I didn't expect that you would be poisoned by me one day. Where's your arrogance before?" Dugu looked at the old chrysanthemum's injured and poisoned appearance and laughed. "Thanks to me, 2311, Hu Inkwen, 1375, Silly, Heartbroken, 7039 for sending monthly tickets. Please read, this is very important. Thank you all readers." Chapter 45, Marginal People, forming a group to steal treasure. This smile seemed to wash away all the humiliation he had suffered before. He touched his nose while laughing. It was a close call. If I hadn't borrowed some poisonous blood from Yaner and blended it into my poison, I might not have one. Tisk 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 tisk. What kind of constitution is the evil poison body, and why is its toxicity even higher than that of a titled Douluo like me? Dugu couldn't figure it out in his heart, but he knew that his time had come. Dugu smiled even more happily. HMPH, Yu Guan endured the pain of poisoning, staring at Dugu in front of him with sharp and vicious eyes. "Yu Guan, are you okay?" Gui Mei looked at the injured Yu Guan and said calmly. He had thought about helping Zhu Guang, but he also understood Zhu Guang's temper. He was competitive and loved face, and this defeat might be of great help to his future soul power breakthrough. Especially when fighting against Dugu, his old enemy, it would be harder than ascending to heaven for him to admit that he was not as good as Dugu HMPH. "What can happen to me?" Zhu Guang said stubbornly. In the distance, a figure behind a stone looked at the scene in front of him and felt a chill on his back. He no longer had the courage to pick up trash. "Just this fight? Whoever goes is an idiot," Mo Fan was afraid and said. Before, when he was dissatisfied with Dugu's attitude towards him, he wanted to teach him a lesson. Now that he saw that he was a titled Douluo, he was really blind. It seems that he has been in the bottom for too long and has not been involved in the world for many years. His ability to judge people is getting worse day by day. The most urgent thing is to escape first. Just as Mo Fan fled north for several miles at his fastest speed. Who knows? He bumped into someone again. "Huh? Isn't this that little girl?" "Oh, no, little girl. When did you guys come here?" "Sorry, did I hurt you just now?" Mo Fan asked with a servile look on his face. Now that he knows the strength of the people around her, he dare not be rampant anymore. "Who's talking to you, little girl?" "This is my woman." Lin Feng looked at this fence-sitter unhappily, and his soul power gathered in his palm. Paw with a slap, Mo Fan fell to the ground. "What's most annoying is the faces of you who are arrogant and then show your courtesy. Can you be more low-key when you go out, and don't be so angry?" Lin Yi and Dugu Yan laughed at the side. "Now that they are out, I don't know who is so angry." Ding ding ding. The dragon-seeking ruler made a vibrating sound again, pointing directly to the ground. Lin Feng looked around and saw that no one noticed this place, so he punched down. A large hole with a depth of more than 10 meters was opened on the ground. Sure enough, it was just as he guessed. The land in the lava zone is actually a special kind of soil floating on the magma. Father, Yaner, let's go. Lin Feng looked at the two of them with a firm gaze and said without hesitation. Yan'ang three-headed snake, spirit true form, Emperor Yan nine-headed dragon, spirit open, Bylin Snake King, spirit open. The three of them released their spirits at the same time and jumped into the cave that had just been opened. In the magma, Dugu Yan's body could no longer withstand the erosion of the surrounding flames when she dived more than 10 meters deep. Even though she wrapped her whole body with soul power, she still showed a look of pain. Lin Yi, on the other hand, seemed relaxed because she also belonged to the fire attribute and was a soul Douluo. Soul fusion, Bylin nine-headed dragon. Lin Feng hurriedly hugged her and performed the martial soul fusion. A nine-headed dragon with a length of dozens of meters and green scales appeared across the sky, and its soul power had reached the soul emperor level. Bylin nine-headed dragon and the Yan'ang three-headed snake transformed by Lin Yi followed the guidance of the dragon seeker, circling around each other and continuing to dive down quickly. Inside the Bylin nine-headed dragon, Dugu's eyebrows gradually relaxed and regained his vitality. Lin Feng watched the frequency of the dragon seeker in his hand vibrating more and more until it stopped with a ding. Looking up, the Flame Beast King, which was tens of meters long, was not far in front of him. System, check the entries. Soul Beast, Flame Beast King, age 70,000 years, entries, hard as iron, white, shock impact, purple, flame crystal, purple. You can condense special crystals in your body, condense flame crystals, and you can also devour other flame crystals or soul cores to evolve. Lin Feng's heart trembled when he saw this entry. No wonder this flame beast was able to defeat other flame beasts and become the Flame Beast King. In the dark, the Flame Beast King also had a divine instruction. This flame crystal is actually similar to a soul core. This entry is very useful for improving his soul power in the future. System, copy the flame crystal entry. Lin Feng copied it without hesitation. But after checking his own panel, he found that these entries were very useful to him at the moment, and there was no one he wanted to replace. Then wait until he returns and carefully select an entry to replace it. He can only copy one at a time. If this entry is not used, other entries cannot be copied. Then, Lin Feng looked at the Flame Beast King again. If the current Flame Beast King wants to truly evolve and improve his cultivation, he needs to break the flame crystal in the sun to absorb the energy contained in it. Although it is only 70,000 years now, once it is truly fully absorbed, its cultivation can be improved to 99,999 years. It is only a matter of time before it becomes a 100,000-year soul beast. The Flame Beast King let out a mournful roar when he saw humans. He spread his wings and quickly fled to the top of the land. At the same time, the Flame Beast King kept looking back, and several fireballs gathered in his mouth and shot directly at the few people. Yaner, Fen, do you have enough soul power to deal with it? Can you hold on? Lin Yi stood in front of them with a worried look on his face, ready to deal with the impact at any time. Father, now that I have absorbed the fairy grass soul ring, I am no longer afraid of any fire attack. Lin Feng smiled slightly and answered calmly. Lin Yi was agile, and he quickly evaded the oncoming attacks with his agility. Lin Feng, Dugu Yan and their Bylin nine-headed dragon chased after them despite the fireballs. The Flame Beast King saw that the snake and dragon behind him not only blocked his attacks, but were also getting closer and closer to him. Roar, he simply turned around and faced them head-on, roaring and rushing towards them quickly. Lin Feng looked carefully and found that the fragmented flame crystals on the Soul Beast King's back had disappeared. The red flame crystal on its forehead was much larger than before. It seemed that it had completely converted the flame crystals of its own kind that it had hunted into its own. Just as Lin Feng was controlling the Bylin nine-headed dragon and preparing to fight it head-on, the Soul Beast King once again condensed a fireball in his mouth, and the size of the fireball was gradually increasing like the previous flame beast. The difference was that this time the Flame Beast King could actually mobilize the firepower around him as his own nourishment. Chapter 46, The Powerful Beast King, The Two Pendants, the Dragon and the Snake. A fireball burst out of the mouth of the Flame Beast King. Lin Yi saw that Lin Feng and the others had no time to dodge. 8th Soul Skill, Extreme Flame Blast. Lin Yi hurriedly urged his soul power and released his soul skills to resist. With a bang, two impact energies burst together at the same time, and the huge shock wave caused the surrounding lava to tremble and the cliffs to collapse. When the energy dissipated, the Flame Beast King took advantage of the aftermath and rushed towards Lin Feng and the others again. Okay, you like to play sneak attacks, right? I can't beat you in a head-on confrontation, I can't use my strengths yet. Lin Feng suddenly had an idea and thought of a wonderful way. The 9 dragon heads of the Bylin 9-headed dragon began to dance in an instant. Come on, big stupid beast, come to your master's place, and see if I don't pull the flame crystal off your forehead for you. Lin Feng's eyes lit up, and the more he thought about this method, the more feasible it seemed. In his words, he was thinking about how to attract the attention of the Flame Beast King. Take the opportunity to launch an ultimate attack on its head. Who knew that the next second, the Flame Beast King quickly passed by the two of them. With a rapidly flowing magma behind him, he ran towards Lin Yi at full speed. Roar! The roar of the Flame Beast King seemed to have sent out a mental shock. For a few seconds, Lin Feng also felt a pain in his head. Lin Feng, Dugu Yan, who was standing beside him, was in even more pain and called out to Lin Feng. Lin Feng quickly released the skills of his head soul bone to neutralize the mental shock she and her father received. Looking at the Flame Beast King behind him again, Lin Feng was stunned. No, buddy, I'm so big, how did you get through the corner next to me? Even if I'm a marginal person, isn't Dugu Yan a human? Is she a human? Lin Yi behind him hesitated for a moment. The next moment, the Flame Beast King had already appeared in front of him. He had to release his soul power with all his strength again and forcibly block it head-on. Boom! The power of this collision between the two was no less than the damage caused by the previous 2 shock waves. This time, Lin Feng clearly felt that even the ground under the magma was shaking. Oh my god, this guy is so strong. Lin Yi gritted his teeth and tried his best to maintain the snake shape of the 3-headed serpent of Yan'ang. Xia Feng, don't stand there, come and help me. The shock of the Yan Beast King increased its power several times, and the momentum of the front made Lin Yi retreat step by step. Now he encountered a 70,000-year-old soul beast, which is about the soul power level of a soul master of the same level 89. Lin Yi's soul skills did not have much effect on the Yan Beast King. Lin Feng no longer hesitated, and the Bylin 9-headed dragon quickly flew towards Lin Yi. Several dragon heads emitted extreme fire and tightly wrapped around the back of the Yan Beast King. For a time, the Yan Beast King was burned by this extreme imperial flame and felt pain. It never thought that this inconspicuous ant would cause it so much pain. Roar! With a roar of pain, the Flame Beast King swung his body vigorously to break free from the restraints on his back. Lin Yi escaped from the inertia caused by the impact at the first opportunity. After the retreating figure stopped, the Flame Beast King's abdomen was facing Lin Yi's front. Good opportunity, 8th soul skill, extreme flame explosion, a flame impact shot towards the Flame Beast King's abdomen again. Roar! The Flame Beast King let out a roar, venting his anger. How could it be? How could the defense of this Flame Beast King be so high? Lin Yi looked closely, with a look of shock on his face. His 8th soul skill actually only caused a small wound on it. Is this level of damage so weak for the Flame Beast King, a 70,000-year soul beast? At this time, Lin Feng controlled the other 3 dragon heads of the Bylin 9-headed dragon. He bit the flame crystal on its head tightly and pulled it out with force. Why is it so hard to pull it out? What is this end made of? Lin Feng seemed a little overwhelmed at this time. So, Lin Feng decisively changed his method and stopped pulling it out. Instead, he bit the bottom of the Yan crystal on the Yan Beast King's forehead. He used the ultimate flame and the blue scale snake king poison to burn its bottom fiercely. The Yan Beast King was in constant pain and rolled back and forth in the magma. Lin Feng tried his best to control himself from being thrown out. Suddenly, the Yan Beast King endured the pain and turned around, rushing straight towards the ground. Not good. It wants to break the crystal. Father, hurry, stop him, Lin Feng shouted to his father anxiously. Lin Yi did not hesitate at all. Martial soul body, 6th soul skill, snake's reverse scale. In an instant, the Yan'ang 3-headed snake transformed by Lin Yi became several times larger, and its body was covered with dense golden scales. Lin Yi quickly urged his soul power to swim in front of the Flame Beast King, using his body to bear the impact brought by it. Right arm soul bone, true dragon hand. At the same time, Lin Feng used the right arm soul bone skill. The black dragon instantly appeared beside Lin Yu to help him try his best to reduce the damage caused by the impact. Unfortunately, the Flame Beast King has a deep soul power and is as strong as a mountain. The two dragons and one snake were easily pulled up by it and flew closer to the sky. Above the sky. Xiaoju, I'm not saying anything bad about you. See me again in the future, keep a low profile. Dugu Bo's words were full of sarcasm. Seeing Yu Guan poisoned, and now this old poison insulted him again, the ghost was immediately furious. 7th soul skill, martial soul true body. The ghost instantly turned into a ghost, entered the state of nothingness, and the speed increased significantly. The next second, the ghost suddenly appeared behind Dugu Bo 8th soul skill. Ghosts and goblins, countless purple-black skulls were summoned by the ghost and rushed towards the Bailan Snake King. His ghosts and goblins had previously defeated Dugu Bo's Bailan Snake King's true body. Now he wanted to see how much the old poisonous creature's strength had improved. 8th soul skill, time freeze. In just a moment, Dugu Bo narrowly avoided the attack from behind. Ha ha ha, ghost, I've been on guard against you, only trash would choose to fight me with too. Dugu Bo was still afraid but still stubborn. Old ghost, you don't need to help me, I can beat him myself. Just when the ghost wanted to refute, Yu Guan said with a dissatisfied look on his face. Seeing that Yu Guan was still going to fight Dugu Bo again, the ghost quickly stopped him. Chapter 47, Soul Fusion, Bipolar Static Field, 100,000 words, please read and recommend. Yu Guan, now the Soul Beast King has awakened and is missing, you and I should not waste time on him, don't delay the arrangements of His Majesty because of your grudges, Gimli said with a gloomy face. Hearing this, Yu Guan forced his soul power to force out the poisonous blood in his body, and his face turned pale. Okay, then you and I will join forces to subdue this old poison first. Yu Guan looked at Gimli with a serious face, as if he had made some kind of determination. Okay, Gimli looked at Yu Guan's eyes and did not refuse. Yu Guan, it's time to teach this old poison a lesson. Martial Soul Fusion, Bipolar Static Field, with the two of them shouting angrily. Gimli's body seemed to be stimulated by an invisible force. A silver flame suddenly burst out of his body and instantly soared into the air. Almost at the same time, a brilliant golden flame also emerged from Yu Guan's body. It complemented the silver flame of Gimli, forming a shocking picture. The 9 soul rings on the two people burst into dazzling light at the same time. The surrounding space was reflected like a dream. The two people who soared into the sky, held their 4 hands, and their bodies suddenly merged. The total of 18 soul rings on the two people instantly condensed into a huge golden and silver halo. Flying in the direction of Dugu Bo, the golden and silver halo flew into the air, and in the blink of an eye it turned into a huge halo with a diameter of more than 100 meters. The dazzling light made the sky and the earth seem to change color. At this time, a shocking scene appeared. On the ground, the panicked people had no time to escape, and their body movements were frozen at that moment. In the halo with a diameter of 100 meters, everything was completely still, like a spread-out painting. Not good, these two people have no martial ethics. Dugu Bo hurriedly retreated, but found it was too late. A golden and silver light wave passed over him, and Dugu Bo's body was also fixed. In this field, the opponent's skills and actions will be still. Although this martial soul fusion technique is powerful. But there is a disadvantage, that is, Ju and Ghost Douluo will also be still. Under the magma. Damn it, Xia Feng, let go. Lin Yi and Lin Feng hurriedly let go of their hands and swam straight to the side of the magma next to them the second before they saw the Flame Beast King about to rush out of the magma. If they were exposed to others, they would definitely bring themselves a fatal disaster. Roar! The Flame Beast King roared and finally rushed out of the magma. Before he had time to be happy, he saw a golden light bursting in the sky. Extremely dangerous. You must not be swept by this light. Realizing that something was wrong, the Flame Beast King immediately prepared to turn around and dive under the magma again. But in the next second, the light wave swept across the Flame Beast King's body. Its tail and body were fixed in an instant, leaving only a head completely buried in the magma. When Lin Feng looked at the Flame Beast King again, he was stunned. He saw the huge head with a hideous face, and the deep pupils revealed a deathly silence. And this pair of pupils was looking at him. Time is still. Lin Feng noticed something strange for a moment, and was overjoyed. Ha, it's really a sudden turn of events. I thought that after the Flame Beast King rushed out, he would get nothing. I didn't expect that he would be frozen by the bipolar static field. Douluo and Ghost Douluo are really my lucky stars. They used their martial soul fusion skills at this time instead of earlier. Isn't this sending the flame crystal to me? Lin Feng couldn't help but be happy, and hurriedly called his father and others to dig for the flame crystal together. Father, Yaner, hurry up, Ju and Ghost Douluo are up there. They will definitely send people to dig for the flame crystal. Let's take advantage of this moment to take out the flame crystal on the Flame Beast King's head first. Hearing this, the dragon and the snake did not stop at all, and each released their strongest soul power with all their strength, burning the flame crystal on the Flame Beast King's head. In almost 2 or 3 seconds, the flame crystal was finally taken off. Father, Yaner, let's retreat first. Lin Feng, who came to his senses, turned his head and said with a smile. Lin Feng, Grandpa is still up there. Will he be in danger? At this time, Dugu Yan expected that Grandpa was fighting with Ju and Ghost Douluo at the same time, and couldn't help but feel a little worried. Yaner, don't worry, let's go out first. Your grandpa will definitely be fine. Lin Yu hurried forward to comfort him. Yes, Yaner, you forgot that Grandpa is now a member of the Dao royal family. Due to his status, the people of the Spirit Hall dare not do anything to Grandpa. The most urgent thing is to get away from here first, otherwise, it will be too late to leave after Ju and Ghost Douluo react. Lin Feng also hurried forward to persuade Dugu Yan. Yes, Lin Feng, you are right, we can't be a burden to Grandpa here. Dugu Yan reacted instantly and said with a firm look. Then, several people hurriedly fled to the depths of the magma. On the shore, although everyone was frozen, they were still attracted by the sudden scene. What? The Flame Beast King? I didn't expect this Flame Beast King to be so big. Several Soul Kings and Soul Lords who were immobilized were extremely surprised when they saw the huge beast not far away. Damn it, this Flame Beast King is so close, but now I can't do anything. Liu Erlong looked at the immobilized Flame Beast King and said helplessly. Thinking of the beautiful and sweet past between her and Xia Gang, Liu Erlong lowered her eyes again. Dugubo was also very surprised. Could it be that this treasure was going to be robbed by them? Above the sky, Zhu Jiyue and the others also noticed the news that the Flame Beast King was immobilized by them through the gold and silver rings. Old Ghost, this is really easy to get. I didn't expect that this Flame Beast came out by accident when we were performing the martial soul fusion technique. Isn't the task assigned by the Pope completed? Yu Guan was overjoyed, with joy in his eyes. Yan, your chance has come. Go, the ghostly and cold voice said to the people on the land through the huge halo. The 3 people below all knew that the martial soul fusion technique performed by the 2 elders could only restrict Dugubo for a period of time. Once the soul power of the 2 of them could not support it, this domain would naturally be lifted. Without time to think about it, several people ran over like a dragonfly skimming the water and quickly ran towards the direction of the Yan Beast King. When the 3 people arrived, Yan was in trouble with the big guy in front of him. Although he tried his best, the Yan Beast King's figure did not move at all. At this time, Yan's eyes were suddenly attracted by the burly leader of the Fire Leopard sect. Pull this guy out from me. Yan pointed to the leader of the Fire Leopard sect, Ho Yanbao, who is not far away. Huh? Is this kid talking about me? Didn't you see that I was in a fixed state? What a joke. Ho Yanbao was a little dazed, and couldn't help asking questions in his heart. He was confused and couldn't speak. Thanks to Blood Night Walk and Dialogue for sending the monthly ticket. Chapter 48, Framed, Fire Type Titled Douluo. The next second, Ho Yanbao staggered. I actually got out of the immobilization state. Ho Yanbao was surprised. At this time, he thought that it was because Ju and Gui's soul power was not enough to support it. But when he looked up at the sky, he happened to meet Yimi's cold eyes. Obviously, his guess was wrong. It was Ghost Douluo who let him go. Hurry up and do it. Why are you still standing there? Yan looked at the man in front of him and said unhappily. Ho Yanbao looked at the boy beside him who was pointing fingers at him, and his eyes revealed dissatisfaction. Master, your help to Wuhan Hall this time, I will remember the saint. Seeing this, Hulina immediately stepped forward and comforted Ho Yanbao's emotions in a kind voice. If you ask someone to help, you should help, right? I think the saint looks good like this. Ho Yanbao felt respected by the saint, so he nodded with satisfaction and walked forward. Is the Flame Beast King finally coming out? Everyone present focused their eyes on the Fire Leopard, hoping to see the true appearance of the Flame Beast King. Some people who couldn't turn their heads in this direction were scratching their hearts and livers anxiously, and they felt itchy. At this moment, They suddenly felt their bodies relax and were released. Everyone, leave the domain quickly, otherwise it will be regarded as a provocation to the spirit hall. Ghost Douluo's voice sounded in the air. Thank you, Senior Ghost Douluo. Seeing that their restraints were released, everyone left the center of the domain and watched from a distance. Among them, although Holong and Liu Erlong were unwilling, they could only leave the domain and watch from the side. 7th Soul Skill, Spirit True Body. Seeing everyone leave, the Fire Leopard released the Spirit Fire Leopard. Bent down and pulled the tail of the Flame Beast King and pulled it out hard. The whole body of the Flame Beast King was pulled straight out of the magma. The onlookers were surprised that the leader of the Fire Leopard sect had such great strength. Yan saw that the Flame Beast King had been pulled out now. Excitedly, he went forward to take down the Yanjing with Hulina and the others. But just as he ran to the head of the Soul Beast. Huh? Where's the Yanjing? Seeing that the Yanjing on the head of the Yan Beast King was empty, the three were stunned. Above the sky, Yu Guan looked at this scene with a livid face. He immediately released his spiritual power to explore the surroundings, but found that there were no suspicious people around. Will the mission assigned by the Pope fail this time? Yu Guan thought uneasily. Huh? How could this Yanjing disappear? I don't know, weren't we all here just now? Can this Yanjing disappear out of thin air? Yes, wasn't there always the movement made by the Yan Beast King before he was born, and it was there before the two seniors released the static field just now. The others saw the scene in front of them and talked about it. Dugu in the distance raised the corner of his mouth slightly. It must be the masterpiece of Finger. Dugu glanced around with his peripheral vision and found that Lin Feng was indeed not there, which confirmed his inner guess. He looked again and saw that Tian'er and Lin Yi were not there either, so he no longer had any worries, and finally he felt relieved. He just had to wait and find an opportunity to leave. My grandson-in-law is really capable. Ha ha ha. After Yu Guan looked at the expression on Dugubo's face, a murderous intent passed through Dugubo again. If he hadn't surrendered to Prince Zuxing now, he really wanted to take this opportunity to kill him. When Dugubo sensed this cold murderous intent, he responded with contempt. He just liked the way that old chrysanthemum couldn't stand him and couldn't do anything about him. In the distance. Tell me, did you do something to take it just now? Yan, who had come to his senses, was weakly angry at Ho Yanbao. Can't you see it yourself? This big hole on the forehead burned by fire. How can I have such a level of fire? I'm afraid that only the soul skills of Titled Douluo can have such power. Ho Yanbao was a little angry at what Yan said at this time, with a dissatisfied look on his face, and his tone was obviously heavier. Since when did a child dare to yell at him? But now that two Titled Douluo were standing above him, he didn't dare to say anything more. Is there a Titled Douluo with fire attribute on the mainland? Is there such a person hidden on the mainland? Indeed, who can say for sure? If there is, with his strength, it is indeed possible for him to sneak in and take away the Yanjing. Everyone was surprised and made random guesses. Zhuji Yui Douluo listened to the discussions in the crowd below and unlocked the domain. Roar Demon, die! The Yan Beast King had not yet tasted the taste of regaining freedom. As soon as he screamed, he was slapped to death by Ghost Douluo. Zhu Douluo quickly flew to the front of the Yan Beast King to check the wound. Old Ghost, is there really a hidden Douluo with fire attribute? Zhu asked Gimei with a puzzled look. I don't know, Gimei shook his head. At this time, Dugubo also came over with a curious look. He was secretly proud in his heart. I'm afraid no one present could have thought that their grandson-in-law would have such a powerful flame. Old Poison Mist, what are you looking at? Yu Guan glared at Dugubo in dissatisfaction. He was also wondering if this old poison was causing trouble. But after thinking about it, he felt that it was impossible. Humph. Boring, do you think I want to watch? Dugubo snorted and left quickly. Hey, let's go, report the situation here to the Pope first. Gui Mei sighed, put away the body of the Flame Beast King, and had to leave first. As the Wuhan Hall and Dugubo and others left, the originally harmonious people suddenly became wary of each other. Now, although the Flame Beast King's flame crystal is gone, it does not mean that there are no other benefits here. There must be a lot of Flame Beast corpses under the magma, and these are all money. If you are lucky enough to encounter a corpse with soul bones, you will make a fortune. If you have the opportunity to encounter a living flame beast and get an ordinary flame crystal, it will be good. But there are some people who don't care about these small amounts of money and are ready to leave first. For example, Hulong and his group. At this time, the several-meter-wide hole smashed by the Flame Beast King suddenly ejected magma more than 10 meters high. A 10,000-year-old flame beast quickly rushed out of the hole, splashing magma. The 8-meter-long black beast burst into a startling wail. The hurricane, whipped up by a pair of giant wings more than 10 meters long, almost knocked everyone over. The flame crystal on the forehead glowed brightly. Ho ha ho ha. Sure enough, there are treasures in this place, the fire leopard said in surprise when he saw the flying flame beast. Soon, one after another, flame beasts flew out of the magma. For a while, the sky was covered with dark clouds, the wind was blowing, and whale rose everywhere. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, The Beasts Danced Wildly, and 10,000-year-old soul bones exploded. How come there are so many flame beasts? Don't they say the flame beasts like to live alone? What's going on? Too many flame beasts is not good. Who will share if there are too few? The crowd watching looked at the strange scene in the sky with greedy and shocked eyes. Dozens of flame beasts in the air waved their wings, gathered fireballs in their mouths, and frequently attacked the people present. The war was about to break out. The fireballs hit the crowd like rain falling from the sky. Ho ha ho ha, fortunately, they haven't left yet. Then come on, 7th soul skill, martial soul true body. The fire dragon laughed and transformed into a fire dragon with hot dark red scales attached to the surface of its skin, and a 10-inch long unicorn protruding from its head. The fire dragon stretched out its claws to resist the attack of the flames. At the same time, red light balls continued to condense in its mouth and shot into the air. From time to time, some younger flame beasts were shot down by him. In the distance. Good opportunity, Kinming, protect yourself. Zilin and I will find you a good Yanjing. At this time, Bai Baoshan, who had been watching from a distance, gently patted Kinming on the back. Thank you, Senior Bai, Senior Zilin. Kinming hurriedly smiled and thanked him. Martial soul true body, Shiangsing furnace, martial soul true body, Shiangsing ivy with a cold snort. Bai Baoshan and Zilin, 2 soul Douluos, both used the 7th soul skill to leap deep into the battlefield. On the other side, Liu Erlong slowly used a cloth to tie up a strand of green hair on her head. She looked at the melee in the sky with a firm gaze. She was determined to get a Yanjing that suited her. Hey, 7th soul skill, red dragon true body. Liu Erlong transformed into a huge fire dragon with wings and flew into the air, with cold murderous intent flashing in her eyes. A pair of sharp claws pounced directly at a 10,000-year-old Yan beast in the air. On land. Why does this 10,000-year-old flame beast look so much like the one we injured before? One person pointed at an injured flame beast and said to his companion. So that's it, I know, these soul beasts are all coming from the periphery of the lava land, the companion suddenly realized and said excitedly. No matter where it comes from, don't think about leaving once it comes, just look at it. Why don't you hurry up and kill the flame beast? You will get nothing in the end. A person who seemed to be the leader of their team scolded the two. There were also some fire attribute soul masters who jumped into the magma to look for the flame beast corpse they had mentioned before. Suddenly, a voice sounded. I dug up a 10,000-year soul bone. A soul emperor dug out a soul bone from the corpse that fell to the ground and shouted with great joy. But before he could be happy, the next second, a leopard-shaped hand pierced his chest. Ho ha ho ha, this trip is worth it. Fire leopard sect, retreat quickly. The leader of the fire leopard sect, Fire Leopard, looked at the soul bone in his hand excitedly and quickly ordered everyone to retreat. Someone actually revealed a 10,000-year soul bone. The 10,000-year soul bone is so rare that even a Titled Douluo would covet it. Everyone was very excited, and Bai Baoshan, Zilin and others also looked over here. Fire Leopard, leave me a soul bone. Seeing this, Huolong, Liu Erlong, Bai Baoshan, Zilin and others immediately chased after the fire leopard with other soul masters. Without their help, the soul masters were in a difficult battle against the attack of the flame beast, and their screams of pain came one after another. Soul masters died one after another. At the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Uncle Lin, why hasn't Lin Feng come back yet? I don't know if he is in danger if he stays alone, and I don't know how Grandpa is doing now. Dugu Yan was waiting anxiously, and said with a choked voice. After they escaped, Lin Feng returned to the battlefield alone, thinking of keeping an eye on Dugu. Don't worry, Yaner, didn't you say that Xia Feng now has his own original soul skills, and even your grandfather, who is a titled Douluo, can hardly notice him? He will be fine. And your grandfather, didn't Xia Feng say that today? Your grandfather is now a member of the royal family, and the people of the spirit hall dare not do anything. Don't worry, Lin Yu comforted Dugu Yan warmly. Suddenly, a figure walked in through the poisonous fog. It turned out to be Lin Feng, who was holding the Yaoxiang Kilo fairy product in his hand to isolate the poisonous fog. Lin Feng, how is Grandpa? Dugu Yan asked hurriedly when she saw Lin Feng return safely. Yes, Xia Feng, Yaner was so worried when you left just now. Lin Yu also hurried over. Yaner, father, Grandpa Dugu is fine. When I came back just now, he had left safely. Lin Feng put away the fairy grass, looked at Dugu Yan's aggrieved expression and hurried to comfort her. Dugu Yan was relieved. Then she walked forward with a worried look on her face to check Lin Feng's body. Yaner, I'm fine. Lin Feng smiled and touched her head. At this moment, Dugu fell from the sky. He saw that everyone was intact and heaved a sigh of relief. Ha, you guys are all fine. Dugu's tone was slightly tired. He was afraid that others would discover the existence of the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, so he circled around the periphery for a long time before coming here. Chapter 50 New Entries, Crystal of Flame, please read. Fenger, did you take the flame crystal of the Soul Beast King? Dugu asked with an inquiring look on his face. Yes, Grandpa Du. Lin Feng took out a flame crystal from the soul guide and placed it in front of Dugu. The flame crystal of the Flame Beast King was different from the flame crystal of the 10,000-year flame beast that Lin Feng had obtained before. Not only was it larger in size, but it also emitted a deep red light throughout. Although the previous flame crystal was also red, it also emitted a slight yellow tint. Grandpa, it was Lin Feng and Uncle Lin who took it together. You don't know, we were under the magma at that time. It was very dangerous. A flame beast king that was dozens of meters long rushed straight towards us. At that time, I was so nervous that I didn't dare to speak. Dugu Yan excitedly shared what they saw and heard when they obtained the flame crystal. Fortunately, Lin Feng and I have our martial souls fused, and we have Uncle Lin, the soul Douluo. Yaner is so amazing, she deserves to be my granddaughter. When I saw the wound on the top of the flame beast king's head, I knew it was you who did it, and it turned out to be true. You don't know, that guy Old Chrysanthemum is still guessing whether there is a titled Douluo with fire attribute hidden in the continent. Now when I think back to Old Chrysanthemum's dark expression at the end, I feel happy. Dugu laughed and couldn't help but praise several people, and the wrinkles on his face were somewhat relieved. Lin Feng smiled faintly. It seems that the old poisonous creature is very happy. However, although it was a coincidence, but he was able to get the flame crystal, and the other party's actions to attract Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo played a huge role. He, Lin Feng, is a person who will repay a favor. Don't call him Laodang in the future. Call him Grandpa Du. He, Grandpa, you are wrong. Who said we didn't know? Lin Feng was waiting for you in the center of the lava, and he didn't leave until you left, Dugu Yan said with a grin, and at the same time, she nudged Lin Feng with her shoulder. She was just like a good girlfriend who took the initiative to give her boyfriend extra points in front of her parents. Xia Feng, Dugu looked over in surprise, and was shocked. I have to say that he was really touched. Lin Feng, a mere soul sect, dared to stay on the battlefield with so many people, even two titled Douluo, just to ensure his safety. Even if it was his own grandson, it would be no more than this. Although Lin Feng had his own soul skills to prevent being discovered, this behavior was still very dangerous. But Lin Feng did it. At this moment, Dugu had mixed feelings, and his eyes were wet. When he thought about the time when he and Zhu Douluo were fighting to the death, Lin Feng was hiding below waiting to pick him up. His heart was indescribably satisfied. An elderly man, satisfied and relieved by the worry of his own juniors. Lin Feng touched his nose and said nothing. He did take a risk, and it would be good if Dugu knew what he had done. But he didn't know. Dugu had already sworn in his heart that even if he died, he would protect Yaner and Xia Feng and let them grow up safely. Don't worry, Yaner, Lin Feng, Grandpa will protect you, he said firmly in his heart. Xia Feng, what are you going to do with the Yan crystal of the Yan Beast King? Keep it with you to improve your soul power perception and speed up your cultivation, or absorb it all at once to improve your soul power level? This will cause your soul power to be empty. Lin Yi on the side talked about this and changed the subject. He is Lin Feng's father. Dugu and Lin Feng have such a good relationship, he is a little jealous. Dugu also looked at Lin Feng curiously. Dugu and Lin Yi's original plan for obtaining the Yan crystal was to give it to Lin Feng. A child with outstanding talent has appeared in the family, and they must do their best to cultivate him. As for Dugu Yan, Yaner has been with Lin Feng for several years, and Lin Feng's help to her is beyond what a grandfather can do. Father, Grandpa, I think I'll absorb it first to improve my soul power. Although my soul power will be weak, my body can bear it. Lin Feng seemed to have thought of the answer and blurted it out. Now that he has copied the term Yan crystal, naturally, he will not keep it, and must devour it. Okay, then I will stay with you and wait for you. Dugu Yan had a smile on his face, showing an expectant expression. Then, Lin Feng took out a fire heart 7-leaf flower from the previous storage bag and handed it to Lin Yi. Father, this fairy grass can greatly improve the quality of your flame. Maybe it will help you to be promoted to Titled Douluo. You can absorb it when I absorb the Yan crystal. Lin Feng turned around and told his father. Ha, thank you Fenger. Thank you Senior Dugu. Lin Yi was overjoyed when he learned about the effect of the fire heart 7-leaf flower. As for why he thanked Dugu, Lin Yi looked at the bare places around him. Presumably, the spiritual medicines and immortal herbs that he ate before and now were all obtained by Fenger from Senior Dugu. Of course, he should thank Senior Dugu very much. Ha, they are all your own people. Fenger's research on immortal herbs and spiritual medicines is no less than mine, but Lin Feng, this stinky boy, has cheated me a lot recently. Dugu waved his hand with a smile on his face. Before Lin Feng didn't know about the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, the immortal herbs that he gave Yaner changed Yaner's physique and evolved her martial spirit. It should be something from the Lin family. After all, where can he get such precious things at such a young age? It is difficult for the two families to repay each other's kindness, so let's just not repay it. One family doesn't talk about two families' affairs. At this time, Lin Yi and Dugu looked at each other and smiled, and they were full of gratitude to each other. Senior Dugu, you can only let Xia Feng repay your kindness to our Lin family in the future. Lin Feng is not bad to me and Yaner. The two of them exchanged glances in their hearts without speaking. What are you two doing? Dugu Yan looked at the two of them flirting with each other and looking at each other affectionately, and asked with a puzzled look. No, nothing. Lin Yi and Dugu looked away with their eyes dodging. Okay, Xia Feng, I'll take it first. Lin Yi took the fairy grass handed over by Lin Feng and put it into his soul guide. Fenger, you should start absorbing the Yanjing now. Master Lin, you should also start absorbing the fairy grass. Yaner and I will guard the gate for you. Dugu came back to his senses and made arrangements in an orderly manner. Yet, Grandpa and I will guard for you. Dugu Yan also looked happy. She was happy to be able to help Lin Feng. Then thank you, Senior Dugu. Thank you, Grandpa. Lin Feng and the others bowed and said. After Dugu and Dugu Yan left, Lin Feng and Lin Yi entered Dugu's wooden house. Each chose a room and sat cross-legged. Lin Feng took out a Yan Beast King Yanjing and placed it in front of him. System, copy the entry of Yan crystal to replace fire immunity, Lin Feng said in his heart. Thanks to 0124, Zhu Fen, Zigan, A Rui, Ming He, and A for sending their recommendation tickets. Thanks to Huinkwen for the reward. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.